Hey guys, and welcome to the first ever Ducks Chosen. This is a 4-man Flash tournament. These guys have just been invited, so it's an invitational event to scrap it out in the honour of the gods and, of course, your beautiful eyes. Should be a good fun scrap. Up in round 1, we do have Grombrindle taking down Ice Power, taking on Ice Power. Ice will have one or two things to say about that, I'm sure. He's a mighty warrior of legend. Both these guys are, actually. It's going to be a really good, fun set of games. And then in round 2, we have the green one taking on Stormrunner, which I'm also very interested in. I think both of them have some slightly off-meta picks and plays, and that's going to be an absolute wild card of a scrap. I'm expecting Chad Forgrim to bring out the big Dowie boys where possible, and Ice Power the Dark Elves. So it looks like we may get some Dark Elf counterpick here. So it looks like Mr. Ice Power is going to be going Beastmen, banning Dowie, and Vampire Count. So it's a best of 3 semis here and a best of 5 final. Standard pick and ban rules, all that good stuff. And it looks like he knows Grombrindle well. He's picking Beastmen and instantly bans the Dwarfs. Grombrindle's like, yeah, see, I'm bouncing. I see be able to deal with Jarred Cheese. It can be pretty tough. You ban Dowie and Counts. Cool. Well, we may see some Dark Elves. Dark Elves aren't actually the worst up against Beastmen. It is certainly possible. You can do a load of sniping potential. What's up, Sam Pirate? Mr. Hank Joseph says, I love your content. Thank you so much, man. That's really kind of you to say. I'm glad you're enjoying what we're putting out here. Mr. Caligar Ironfist, CJ, hope you guys are all good in the hood today. Ronin as well, the legendary wandering samurai warrior, who is here to slay people. Hopefully we're going to have a showdown with Ronin and Green One on the channel soon. I don't think they can do it, unfortunately, this week as planned, but they should be able to do it later on. So, Forgrim is going to go Lizmen. Decent pick there. Decent pick, Lizmen into Beastmen. It's certainly not the matchup it used to be, but you can definitely do it, particularly with some good kiting potential. Although, I must admit, Grombrindle doesn't tend to go for that lean into that kite style of play. He's more of a, I'm going to run up to you and punch you really, really hard in the face style of play, which I love personally to watch. It's some very exciting stuff. So hopefully stream is running all nice and good. Boo, 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 boo. Oh, so I just got a message from Wicked D. He was going to be one of our competitors today, but unfortunately couldn't make it. That is absolutely fine, lad. And it's going to be good fun. It's going to be good fun. Honestly, any of these guys could win it on their day. Relatively evenly matched, I think, across the board here. All of them experienced tournament veterans of Legend. You're really not in the game right now? No worries, Ronin. No worries, man. Although I must admit, an out-of-shape Ronin is better than the majority of players, so I'm pretty excited for that. I believe it was you that Green One said he wanted to play against. Yeah, it looks like it is going to be the Lizardmen. Fun matchup. I'm going to ask you guys who you think this matchup favours now. When it first came out, when Tuskor Chariots were as they were, I really do think it heavily favoured Beastmen for a while, but I think it's back on even terms. Pick Doban. Cool. And let's add up which faction does this matchup favour. See what you guys think. Let's go for the Lizardmen and the Beastmen. Ooh, let's ask our community. I can see Grombrindle's build already. Oh no. It's not on the screen, hopefully. Quackmoo, what's up, Torox the Brass Ball, the absolute legend. Hope you're doing all good, champion. Good luck, have fun. Awesome. I'm guessing you've played it in this matchup a few times up against Grombrindle, Mr. CJ. I know you guys are now indeed clanmates. Looks like the majority of you guys are thinking this is Lizardmen favoured so far, but it's very close. So I should have done an even. I should have added an even in there. It's probably would have been actually even. I need to keep remembering to do that when I do which matchup does this faction favour. Maybe in Warhammer 3? Man, I'm very excited for Warhammer 3. Very, very excited. Yes, Torx, we're getting some Beastmen straight out of the gate. I believe Ice Power did yell a prayer into the skies for Torx to bless him. So maybe we will get to see Torx. So I could certainly see a Doom Ball being picked in this matchup as well. I think maybe even bringing some of the Gorgons could be good fun if you can protect them from those pesky Skink, Javelin and Blowpipes, which can often do a bucket ton of damage to you. No worries, Ronan. No worries whatsoever, man. If you're not playing the game at the moment, no need to. Glad you're here anyway and enjoying the stuff still. I don't know if Beastmen have super unfavourable matchups anymore. I'll have to think about that and try and determine which matchups are really bad for Beastmen. Probably Wood Elves, I would argue. Could be really bad still. because they can kite you so effectively. Anything which can go mass air is still problematic. But I mean, double harpies, as well as like double manticores, can counteract a lot of that, but it can be a little bit tough. What's up, Charix? How's it going? Torix, so excited for Tzeentch, man. Oh, for those of you who are wondering where on earth is my reaction to today's gameplay reveal, I've actually done it on Twitch, because I knew I was streaming this, so I didn't want to stream twice on YouTube in one day. And yeah, it was pretty damn cool. It was pretty damn cool, I must admit. I enjoyed a lot of it. I know we were kind of looking more at sieges there, but we got to see a lot of in-game animations, a lot of the Tzeentch units, which we hadn't seen in too much detail previously, and boy oh boy do they look absolutely beautiful. I'm very excited for Tzeentch. Still very hyped for Kislev as well, don't get me wrong. Out of the 4 factions we've seen pretty in-depth so far, my main 2 are Tzeentch as well as Kislev. Though we haven't seen the Tzeentch roster, I don't think yet, if I'm not mistaken. So that'll probably come out later this week, I would assume. Just if they're going in the way they're running stuff at the moment. So, Dark, I just pinned you on Discord. Was napping. No worries, Wicked D, man. We will get you into the next one. Wicked D is someone I'm trying to get onto the channel for a while now, actually. We've been talking about trying to get him in a best of 7 or in a tournament. But I know our times don't always match up. But no worries, bud. We'll get you in on the next one. Maybe a best of 7 up against someone. Wicked would be cool. Hey, wish I could watch, but you know the drill. I do, Indicity. I do enjoy having fun with your tournament as well, bud. How often do you stream on Twitch? Probably about twice a week we're going to be streaming on Twitch, Torox. It's mainly going to be Mondays and Fridays I'm going to stream over there. I don't think I streamed this Monday. So I'll probably be streaming tomorrow on Twitch instead. So yeah, I'm going to be trying to stream twice a week on Twitch, but without taking away any of my 2 to 3 streams on YouTube. So it's literally just bonus content. It won't always be Total War kind of goodies. It will be the majority of the time. But I think we're going to start doing some campaign over there as well, which could be some good fun. I'm thinking of doing a legendary campaign, or a very hard campaign, with Logic, the other Total War YouTuber. Or one of the many other ones, I should say. And we're going to work as a team where I'm Nakai, and I think he was Rakarth, and we're going to instantly declare war against anyone, and see how long we can survive. The baseline units are just so fast, I'm not sure if you can kite super effectively with that many cheap units chasing you down. I think just see the way to do it is to go mass, like, skirmish cav, like, just go full cav against beastmen with the Wood Elves, and you can certainly do some pretty good work. And snipe from the skies of sisters, it can be really obnoxious and painful. I haven't seen Hawk Riders that often anymore. I do enjoy Hawk Riders still. I think they're a really fun thematic unit. I love to use them in combat, actually, to charge into the rear of a front line of enemy troops and try to overwhelm them and break them with a ferocious strike them from the skies type attack, and it can be really good fun. Wait, there's 2 Ronins? Wait, what? I've just noticed there's 2 different Ronins in chat. My entire life has been a lie. Torx has a fun Vanguard build, Beastmen versus Wood Elves. It's kind of like the one with the rats you posted recently. Man, that was a wild game. Love the thumbnail on the newest vid. Thank you so much, Raptor. It's that was a beautiful game. I uploaded the game today, guys, with the very tongue-in-cheek "This is the greatest build of all time" title, and it is a beautiful build that I do bring with the Dino Boys. It's got Nakai, it's got the Geltblom Terror, it's got Crocus, it's got absolutely everything you want from a solid Lizardman build. So here we are on the plains of the South Badlands, or at least I think that's where we are. It gets my mind gets lost in the mist of the Chaos Warp, so I'm not sure if that's where we are on the campaign map. I need to play campaign. I'm actually seeing all this Warhammer 3 stuff's got me really excited for campaign, and that's why I'm wanting to hop in and play a little bit more recently. So, it should be good fun. Let's have a look at the builds, and it is going to be a relatively solid build, I think, straight out the gate from the Dowie main here of Grombrindle, and he's coming in with Lord Mazdamundi on Zlak, the true ruler of Lustria. Look at him, the goodest boy. It's going to be a little neck scratch there right under the earrings. That's probably going to be a little bit sore, and Mazdamundi, the puppet of Zlak, sitting on top. Oh, he's bouncing back and all around. So we get to his spells now. He's got Harmonic Convergence, Apotheosis, Nets, and of course Banishments, Ruinations, and all that good stuff. We have Double Bastardon, so it looks like he's going to try to counteract his opponent's skirmish play just by shooting it, which certainly isn't a bad idea whatsoever. So Double Bastardon, a load of skink cohorts with javelins. We have the cohort of Sotek, and Grombrindle going back to his base Dowie instincts. Let's form a box. So we have triple Saurus Spears, a guard on the flanks, double Temple Guard in the front, one of which is the Star Chamber Guardians, one of my favourite units in the entire game. They will rip, tear and break the bones of any enemy who dares offend a Slann or even looks at them slightly funny. Good fun box build. I think it could be really badly punished here by Traitorkins. And we do indeed have a Traitorkin coming in from this Brave Shaman, so Ice Power certainly knows what he's doing here. We have a load of Ungor Spearheads, so cheap, cheerful chaff. This is how I see Ice Player play Beastmen, basically since launch them. Just go a bare minimum infantry, have it just be an absolute garbage just to hold down the enemy and bog them in. Bring a couple of Tuskor Chariots to bring the pain. Of course, he's got to come in with the double Ferro Manticore. It is an Ice Power Classico at this point. And then down on the low ground, we do have a Gorbul, the smaller brother here, coming in with that Blood Creed. But actually, he might be getting buffed, I suppose, by Taurox. And then we have Taurox the Brass Bull. Get him, lads. We have Brass Body and Blood Creed. He is ripping up that ground there, getting ready to move in and engage. Another really good play here by Ice is the often overlooked Ungor Raiders. 1, 2, 3. That's really going to help out against those box builds. And a couple of Thronax Centaurs. So honestly, a really good build from both these players. It's going to be interesting to see how the Beastmen crack this box. Off the builds, I think Ice Power certainly has the tools to defeat a build like this if he plays his cards well. Because Taurox and the Gorbul will do a number over on Lord Mazdamundi if they can engage him in long, kind of drawn-out combat. They don't really want him cycle charging, and also shutting down the Bastiladons would be very nice as well. Looks like this guy's saying good luck, have fun. Always good to see good sportsmanship. Balance Power adores Beastman. I'm not 100% sure why it always does, but look how heavily it is favoured in the Beastmen's favour right now. Probably because Taurox is vibing. Gorbul gets slapped right in the face by a solar engine. Nice connecting shot there. Of course, the Lizardmen can't see the majority of the Beastmen build right now. Rip Lizardmen. I mean, it's going to be pretty tough with those Traitorkins coming down. It could often honestly depend how well these solar engines do shoot and how much damage they can get out early. Gorbul's not the best target for them, but hey, it's still damage at the end of the day. Ungor Raiders are going to be really problematic. Lovely shots though. Do manage to clip the Tuskor Chariots, losing quite a chunk of HP there. Despite that, their models are still all active, so they will do the same amount of damage output. Lord Mazdamundi did consider charging in. He's going to get caught here by a Traitorkin, which is Overcast, catching the Star Chamber Guardians, catching Mazdamundi, as well as a Bastiladon and some of the little skinkies. Bastiladon's going to continue to shoot now. We're doing a lovely, very snappy counterplay there. Apotheosis goes down the Star Chamber Guardians, and the Brave Shaman has been hit with a net. Lord Mazdamundi going for that assassination attempt, but we have the double Manticore. You can see Ice Power bringing back the Gorbul, bringing back Taurox, drag them over to Mazdamundi, and save your Lord. I think that is certainly the play here. Mazdamundi seems to know this and is actually going to fall back to help the Star Chamber Guardians. More shots are aching in to the Centaurs with thrown axes, doing some nice damage. The other one on the left does actually break off the Tuskor Chariots, despite them having all three models, which is quite lucky with the amount of HP damage they have received. Chariots, Centaurs, Gorbul, and Taurox come in, and they are laying a whooping on Lord Mazdamundi, but a Shield of Old Ones goes down. These Spearmen need to break formation and get in here and start to assist, I would think. Though we do get a lovely Apotheosis coming down, and there's a lot of Saurus Spears around, and a lot of Star Chamber Guardians, but well played by Ice Power here. He baited out that net early on, because imagine a net now. A net pulling in the Gorbul would be so nice work, so I think using the net on the Mage was a bit of a mistake in the early stages of the game. The Solar Engine's doing a pretty decent job. Centaurs have taken considerable damage, though the Ungor Raiders are starting to rain shots into the Temple Guard. We do have Saurus Spears starting to push out on this flank, but those pesky Tuskor Chariots have indeed returned. Not sure for how long, as one of them goes down in a burst of beautiful flaming wrath from the Solar Engine. Tuskor Chariots are not looking too great. Both units actually struggling quite a bit. Big Fat Juicy Banishment goes down on the Centaurs with Thronaxes, doing some really lovely work then. It's actually going to move along to the Ungor Raiders. A beautiful cast, and a lot of the mobile elements for the Beastmen are starting to get dealt with. We do have a net go down on the Centaurs, but only for a short duration. They seem to be able to stabilise and free themselves. Brave Shaman is in a precarious situation themselves, though a lovely Traitorkin is going to go down, catching double Saurus and Star Chamber Guardians. This is the time for... Oh, this is such a good 1-2 punch. You do massive damage with your magic, then you rear charge with the Centaurs and charge in the front with the Terracors and Taurox. This or Fearcors and Taurox, doesn't cause terror, that's a bit surprising. And then you can break a lot of units in one go, but of course, Star Chamber Guardians don't go down easily, particularly with a cold-blooded popped on them. Very close game still. Tuskor Chariots have managed to emerge back. Lord Mazdamundi floating out to try to deal with the characters, and that's going to be the big problem, I think, for this Dino build. They've dealt with the Ferromancer Corps relatively well. You can see one of them being forced back now. Skinks need to get aggressive and start pouring in onto those Ungor Raiders, but Taurox is such a beast, and he's doing a really decent job here in the middle, though the Cohort of Sotek are nearby to support, and the Gorbel has had a little bit of a whipping placed on him. Big assassination attempt coming in here by Ice Power. Ferromancer Corps does get blinded, though, briefly, as Lord Mazdamundi continues to scrap and fight. Temple Guard doing such a good job here. They've managed to bait in a Manticore, Rampager, and Zlak comes in. Those horns gouging big holes and wounds in the flank of that Manticore, and that Manticore is dead. Look how quickly it got assassinated. Gorbel is also starting to look a little bit worse for wear, with the Star Chamber Guardians fighting alongside of the Cohort of Sotek. Ungor Raiders taking a nice high ground here, but they're only shooting into Skinks, which isn't too problematic at the moment. Both the Ferromancer Corps have certainly seen better days, and the Gorbel as well is getting ramrodded, shoved down onto all fours by Zlak, and Zlak is feeling particularly angry today. Poor little Gorbel probably isn't going to stand much of a chance, down to 970 HP. Would love to see a net placed on him now to finish him off for good. Both the solar engines are still alive and on pretty good HP, but their ammunition is starting to rain pretty thin. I think, yeah, shooting the Centaurs is good, because they're one of the best answers that this Beastman build has to the solar engines as well as Zlak, because these guys can push through and kill archers. It's not really a problem as long as they stick together. Lord Mazdamundi pushing forward with the Saurus Spears here. Looks like they have broken off some of the Throne Axes, and it looks like Taurox may get hit by another net of Amantork, and he's just going to get pinned in place. Nothing too crazy, to be honest, as more shots do rain down on the Centaurs. Might have been better netting them and finish them off, because it looks like the ammunition is starting to run pretty low. Really unfortunate Ruination. Basically hit nothing there, going in between all of the gaps. I don't think you can aim Ruination. You can aim all other banishment spells, at least for the very kind of early, half a second of whatever of their lifespan. Mazdamundi is going all in. If he can bring over his other Bastiladons, single entity fights can often come down to numbers, and they could quite possibly ramrod Taurox down into the dirt right now. Mazdamundi needs to try to get these Ungor Raiders off him. Grombrindle doing a fantastic job of pushing aggressively and driving these guys back, who are relatively low on ammo, but this is the problem with pushing without the majority of your force. Ferromancer Corps, very fast, can come down here and start slapping at this solar engine. Saur Spears might want to kind of use their spears over here a little bit and try and assist with that anti-large. Now, the Brave Shaman is getting terrified and forced back, but there's nothing to chase it off the battlefield, so I wouldn't be too worried if I was Ice. It's very unlikely to shatter right now. You see the Gorbel is going to be fleeing back where possible. Lodosaurus going to be trying to reunite with the Solar Engine, and the Temple Guard still holding firm. Somehow that Brave Shaman manages to rally themselves and continue to fight. Little Javelins are being copied off the back of this Bastiladon into the Gorbel, doing some okay damage there. Trekin does go down on the spears, as well as Mazdamundi. Hopefully he's got some heals left in him, because this game is so close. But Bounce Power loves Beastman, it always does. I'm still need to figure out why that actually is. The Ferromancer Corps is certainly going to be getting shattered there. Oh my god, Lord Mazdamundi Zlak, with a roar being ripped from his throat, does the deed. These men definitely get nice and tight right now. Ungor Raiders are pretty wenged on ammunition. They actually use up their shots into the Temple Guard and the Cohort of Sotek here. Although well-placed Refuse to Die is going to mean they can surround this Brave Shaman and possibly drag them down. Is there anything left to kill Mazdamundi? I'm not so sure. I mean, the Ferromancer Corps, of course, can do good work. If there's many more heals coming down by Mazdamundi and we get one just there, it's going to be tough. Of course, we have Taurox, but the double solar engine are going to be quite nasty for him to deal with. I think Ice's best bet: use up all your ammunition, use all your thrown axes, all your shots into Mazdamundi, then attack him all at once with the injured Manticore, with the injured Gorbel, with Taurox, and it's going to be a time game. You have to kill him before a couple of your big guys start to go down. Likes for the likes god, indeed, likes for the likes god. And Taurox instantly tries to assassinate one of the Bastiladons. This is where the nets, I think, could be really handy from Grombrindle to isolate targets like this. Although Mazdamundi is now surrounded in a really precarious situation, but his loyal Gary does charge in. That Ferromancer Corps is going to be shattering here and getting forced off the battlefield, or at least I would expect. But Lord Mazdamundi is so close to death, and his leadership is so low. Ungor Raiders just 2 volleys left. That Cohort of Sotek trying to finish him off, but the Cycle Charging is doing a really good job right now. It looks like Taurox does manage to pop Brass Body, and he shall fend off one of the Bastiladons. The Lizmen need to take down this other Gorbel. Ignore Taurox for now. You can't really hurt him. Lord Mazdamundi gets an Apotheosis, and a well-placed shield of the Old Ones is going to be increasing his leadership. Lovely banishment goes down on the Ungor Raiders, finishing them off, or at least, doing decent damage. but the Traitorkin is back, baby. Brave Shaman has returned to the main fight. The Gobble is running for its life right now. Very close game. Bounce Power still adores the Beastmen, but I think this is way closer than it's given it credit for. Lord Mazdamundi is just about clinging on to life. He needs to start killing these single entities rather than wounding multiple ones, and it looks like the Gobble does just about break right now. Another Traitor King coming in would be so scary for this Lizmen force and might actually end the deal here. I think the Lizmen ignore Torx, you can't catch him, go after this Brave Shaman, and we need another Apotheosis down on Lord Mazdamundi because he is very low right now. There's a lovely rear attack onto Torx, who should turn and fight this, and he actually gets staggered there. This could turn out real bad for Lord Mazdamundi, down to 500 HP, but in comes the Bastildon to save their Liege Lord, doing some massive damage to Torx, who is being forced back and driven from his home right now. So the Beastmen forces, you can see the Ungol Raiders trying to move into combat. The Spearmen are also moving over in this direction, and the Lizmen player needs to start attacking these units. You can't catch Taurox. The longer this game goes on, the more chance there's going to be another Traitorkin, which would be absolutely disastrous because it would probably kill Lord Mazdamundi, or at least break him, and then we could get a real nice surround coming in by these forces. Last few shots are coming in, raining shots down, and it looks like the Ungols have engaged in combat. Taurox coming in one last time. Fell Deeds awake, and he charges in. Apotheosis goes down on Lord Mazdamundi, but is it a tad too late? He's trying to pin in Taurox right now. We need a lovely net of Amantok to be so good, but of course he's used the majority of his magic on his healing, and down the mighty beast goes. Now, the Centaurs do indeed shatter themselves. The Ungol Raiders are in a bad position, and despite Lord Mazdamundi going, I'm not convinced this is game over. Double Soul Engines can do some nice work, particularly when saturated with the Bastildon and Temple Guard. I mean, is it best hunting down Taurox? It might be at this point, because I don't think he can catch the Brave Shaman, and they are poisoning Taurox, slowing him down. Maybe Lord Mazdamundi can actually rally here. I'm really worried that another Traitorkin is going to come in by the Brave Shaman, though. That could be a big, big problem. But the double Bastildons are doing pretty decent damage. Look at them shooting into the back of Taurox, and it's just chip damage, but it is starting to add up quite nicely. Bouncer power is actually in the middle for the first time over the course of this battle. Taurox is trying his best, but he's not going to be able to actually catch Maz right now, I don't think. And Mazdamundi's leadership is currently on 5, so he should rally, and there's... Oh, is he going to be able to make enough distance? I'm not sure. Taurox is actually trying to juke back and forth, which is low-key hilarious, to get away from these javelins. He's still being poisoned and slowed down. Lord Mazdamundi, bud, you've got the leadership. Maybe that distance is too close? I don't know. It feels like it's pretty far away. We'll have to wait and see. But, hey, this damage is really, honestly, adding up quite a lot now. 1,900 HP. The one thing Ice Power has going for him right now is the leadership of the Beastmen force. He needs to drive off Mazdamundi to give that negative leadership, and Mazdamundi rallies, but the Beastmen had given up hope. No! So Shield of the Odd Ones goes down, and I think he's just going to go for a suicide death charge. Bam, into Taurox. Does some pretty big damage, actually, as well. He's probably out of Winds of Magic, I would assume. So, you know, go down fighting. 173 HP, but he is doing a number right now on Taurox, who's standing firm, and down the mighty Slann doth fall. Is it enough? And the leadership starts to waver. This is the problem. Beastmen are running away, basically fleeing, although the Ungol Raiders will, of course, be going down, and the terror on the Bastildons is simply going to be maybe too much for this infantry corps. He's trying to bait in a Traitorkin, and there the Traitorkin comes. One Bastildon may better get free. No, every single unit in the Lizmen army gets hit by a Traitorkin. Some really fantastic late-game management so far by Ice Power. You can see, though, the Saurus are just about clinging on to life. The Bastildons are relatively healthy as well. Taurox not looking too great, unfortunately. Ungol Raiders are starting to move back into combat. Everything is simply terrified and running away, and it's not looking good for the Beastmen. It's really not, despite killing Mazdamundi. You see the Ungol Raiders are trying their little hardest here. Brave Shaman's going to continue to flee. There's no way he has enough Winds of Magic for another one. And maybe jump Taurox while he's isolated and alone. It looks like he just does not want this fight, and he's going to be fleeing for his life. Just move in, shatter these units, and try to finish them off. Balance power is quite heavily now in favour of the Dino Boys. Just don't isolate these Bastildons. This could be the only problem if he allows Taurox just to fight the Temple Guard, because these guys will probably break just simply due to how low their leadership is. But in comes one Bastildon, ramrodding Taurox a Brass Ball. Do we have a Brass Body to pop up? Maybe Taurox can solo this. His entire army abandons him, but the Lizardmen are victorious. What an absolutely insane game for our first kickoff here of this best of 3 semi-final. I don't know if we're going to top that, guys. I don't know. That might just be time to go home now. That was amazing. What a game here by Grombrindle and Ice Power. I loved every second of that. That was so cool. When I saw the builds and I saw the traitor kin, I was like, ooh, it's a little bit rough, but hey, never count out the children, the old ones. Never count out Lord Mazdamundi. 2,283 damage value, 14k damage dealt, but more importantly, he absorbed so much, healing himself up, using the shields at the right time. I think the nets were an interesting play. I would have probably used the nets for pinning units, but he was kind of using nets to keep people out of combat, which is also an absolute viable strategy. Saurus Spearman, 889 damage value, 655 and 208, so decent work, but nothing too crazy there from the Saurus. The cohort of Sotek got 750 damage of value, 111 kills though, so good did some nice pushing to finish off those raiders where possible. And that's for the Temple Guard, 1.2 damage value and 775. Not too shabby whatsoever from both the lads, particularly this unit of Temple Guard who held to the bitter end, dragging down enemy after enemy. Skin cohorts just got shy of 700 damage value and 215. 700 is very impressive, but for me, guys, without shadow of a doubt, Bastardon Solar Engines were MVPs here. 99 and 61 kills, 1,760 damage value on the other unit, 1,300 winning the day. Well played to ISO, he cracked that box wide open, but it wasn't enough. Torx the Brass Bull just shy of 2,000 damage value. Brave Shaman of Wild, 1.3k and 125 kills. Gorball got 1.3k damage value as well, so the single entities did good. Unfortunately, the infantry, being so chaffy, just got annihilated now. The Ungor Raiders, 700 damage value, 749, 775 was really good. Centaurs, 845. Phalanxes in the kind of mid-hundreds, 700 here, 500 on the other unit. The Chariots were really well dealt with, and the Manticores didn't do too much. I mean, the second Manticore got 730 value, but the other 310. If there's one thing Grombrindle knows how to do as a Dowie player is deal with Chariots. And he did that well. GG, well played. Amazing game. That's gonna be hard to top. That's gonna be so hard to top. Sad to see Torx lose 1k HP to unlimited secondary ammo. Yeah, chasing off Mazdamundi was a little rough there, because he took so much damage on the way out. Pew pew. Pew pew indeed. Yeah, those skinks on the back normally don't seem to do too much, but that was pretty insane. So, Oakenhammer is the map. So, it is Grombrindle to pick and ban. There is no way he is not going to be going Dowie here. They used to be more annoying because they had better poison, but that is true. That is true. So, let's update the scoreboard. Unfortunately, guys, I am running my old system at the moment because I'm too paranoid about the new system, which is a really cool system because every time someone subscribes or donates and stuff, like a little Krotgar appears on the screen. I have it on Twitch working at the moment. I need to work it out for YouTube because it was running my stuff at a different, like, not the highest quality video, which is really bizarre, and I don't know why. So I might do a test stream tomorrow, where I just do, like, a private one, so I can make sure it's all good, and then we'll maybe go to that system on Thursday. Because on Thursday, we're doing yet another tournament. I'm really getting back into the swing of tournaments, and we're going to be doing a one-build Battle Royale, which I'm very excited for here. So, Grombrindle, of course, picks Dwarves, bans Scale and High Elves. Ice Power goes Dark Elves, going back to his safety blanket. And this is a really good matchup, in my opinion, for the Dark Elves. But obviously, Grombrindle knows how to handle it as well. And I think it's a matchup which has certainly got better with the inclusion of Thorgrim into the game. It's time to shout out you guys in chat. Yeah, everyone's just saying GG, man. Everyone's saying GG. That was so wild. That was so wild. Dowie Instincts. Here's Dowie Instincts kind of kicked in. It looks like you guys thought the Beastman had it, but... yeah, no, the Gorball Blackthorn actually, like, gets, like, a little bit of love now. He gets a little bit of love, because he works so well combined with Taurox. That damage, yeah. Mazdamundi went down fighting. Like, him rallying and coming back and doing some big hits on Taurox really definitely helped. Oh, sorry, I just knocked my microphone there. What's up, Zypher? How's it going, champ? Mr. Felix as well. What a nail biter. Yeah, that was crazy. If only the Basildons had some shots left. Oh, if only, if only. Even more big beams. 2 champs of the scrap going at it is always something. Yeah, these guys are really awesome players. Dowie Superiority has just hopped in. I love the name, bud. Wearing your heart on your sleeve there. Grombrindle, Kazakin at heart, indeed. He played a good game, man. He played a good game. He's one up here. Ice Power, though, is ever the crafty scrapper, and he's going to be going to his beloved Dark Elves. So it's a matchup which definitely favours Dark Elves. I think as a Dowie player, you have to get aggressive and push. Realistically, if you want to hope to succeed. Otherwise, you know, Shades and Dark Shard spam really can be the end of you. Personally, I quite like a wide Dowie force. Load of mines for blasting charges in the front. Dwarf Warriors are great weapons to back them up. Thunderers after that as well, with Thoric. And 1 or 2 units protecting the rear. And you slow push the enemy. Slow push them all day. Treadkin is bad versus infantry or single entities. Yeah, it's not as good as it is up against monstrous infantry and cavalry, but it does still, you know, it still does damage at the end of the day. It's kind of like a wannabe Flock of Doom in that aspect. But it is nice bringing it against forces like the Lizardmen just in case, because of course they can bring a lot of monstrous infantry, and it still will do you know, damage to those large targets as well as the infantry. Whereas I feel Flock of Doom only really does. Actually, Flock of Doom, you know, it's kind of like a base damage, I guess, across the board. Just a bit of base damage. Oh, it's a big fat juicy stretch. And here we are, and it looks like Grombrindle, he's got a little bit of a strut in his walk after that victory, feeling pretty good about himself. And he knows that I'm a sucker for a flame cannon, and we have one today. Ladies and gentlemen, the flame cannon of the Dowie, an often overlooked unit perhaps. It is not the most powerful because it often does get sniped out. I feel like it'd be much better in other people's rosters because they don't always prepare for artillery, but you always prepare for artillery against the dwarfs. It's got a rather slow arc of fire as well, but if it connects, it can really rip and tear into some infantry. So we do have Dwarf Warriors and Miners making up the front line, including the Ekron Miners. Grombrindle loves these guys and often gets really good damage value for them. In the secondary kind of fighting line, we have Longbeards in reserve. So Longbeards are great weapons and more Longbeards as well, including some Slayers in that central pocket. Also in the centre, we do have double Thunderers, so not overcommitting too much in the range there, and double Bugman Rangers, or actually no, 1 basic Ranger and 1 Bugman. Of course, the Bugman Rangers are a little bit more tipsy for this fight, but they also are a little bit more elite and badass. I really love their colour scheme. It's kind of funny to have a unit of dwarves who regenerates as well with their liquid fortification. Hey, at the end of the day, if the beer's that good, it'll bring you back to life. We have Thoric Ironbrow down here, coming in with the Rune of Doom, of course, as he should always come with. He has the Rune of Wrath and Ruin, Rune of Speed, as well as the Rune of Slowness, Master of the Ancient Law, and Thoric's Rune Armor. Pretty cool build for sure. For the forces here of the Dark Elves, are we actually going to have Marathi? I don't think so. No, we don't. Ice Power has pushed aside Marathi in favour of a sexier lord today. So we have Ferromanticores, 1 up either side, of course. We do have 1, 2, 3 Dark Shards. This is a really interesting build. So 3 Dark Shards. We have Dark Riders in the back as well, just the combat variety. We do have Hargnef Executioners, Blackheart Corsairs, and Bleak Swords making up the main battle line. These Hargnef Executioners need to be really careful. If that Flame Cannon gets good shots on them, they could be in big, big trouble. We then have a Sorceress of Beast with Flock of Doom, as well as Manticore Summon. If she was on a horseback, I'd like to have seen Amber Spear as well, but it's not, of course, a necessity. And then leading the battle line, we actually have Loke here, Fellheart, very good in this matchup, will easily stab the living poop out of Thoric Ironbrow. He's, of course, going to be coming in with the Kraken Helm. I think Anticity's in chat here, and he's like kind of the Lord of Krakens. So the Helm of Kraken and Dreaded Duelist trying his best Anticity impression here today. Going to be a good fun game. The Flame Cannon has the potential to dominate this. However, the Dark Shards would be really problematic once they get into range. The Dwarfs are going to have to advance their formation a little bit. Let's see if Ice Power is juking. It looks like he does juke back. Still, unfortunately, gets clobbered a little bit there, but only by 1 of the cannonballs rather than all 3. And once again, jukes back, but gets clipped there. Now the Bugmans and Thunderers are starting to unleash hell upon the enemy. More shots come in, this time aiming at the Dark Shards, getting them down to half HP. Beautiful damage done out of the gate. Bugmans have sprung their trap. Now, nice position here by Ice Power, summoning that Manticore just as the other ones are going to come in as well. Rune of Slowness will be going down on this Ferromanticore. It's still going to hop on top of these Thunderers, and while he distracts this unit, the Summoned Manticore can move over to a different threat. One unit of Dark Shards has already been forced back here by the Flame Cannon, and the Miners of Blasting Charge doing some really nice damage in the front line to all these Dark Elf units. A big snipe attempt coming in, so Feral Manticores hopping on top of Thoric Ironbrow. Slayers need to move this way because they can shut down 2 units in one go, which will certainly be very nice for them. The other Manticore, for some reason, has bomb-dived Longbeards, and is now getting eviscerated. Good micro, though, by Ice Power to sneak through this unit of Bleak Swords on top of the Thunderers, circumventing the front line. Miners need to turn around and blast and charge them back. Dark Riders are starting to push through. I think Grombindle's micro is probably focused over here, though. One Manticore is being forced back, and that is the one which is not a summon, which is good news for him. Flame Cannon up to 62 kills, doing some nice damage there, and some beautiful friendly fire in the mists. Thunderers are trying to shoot into the High Elf Executioners. Miner's going to pin them in place, buying time for that Flame Cannon to really rip and tear. Look at those shots! My god, that is such a good Flame Cannon today. It's doing some massive damage to those High Elf Executioners, and might allow those Miners to win that fight. That is insane work right there. It looks like Loki Felhart is well and truly running. He's kind of a cat amongst the pigeons, unfortunately, for the force of the Dowie, and is really doing some good work. Dark Rise trying to finish off the Flame Cannon, but we have Slayers nearby to help support. It looks like Murderous Prowess has been popped. One Feral Manticore still going strong. Dwarves have done horrendous damage right now to this Dark Elf build, but Dark Shards are now returning with a load of ammunition. Not much to fend them off, apart from this Flame Cannon, which still remains protected till this day. High Elf Executioners are grinding their way through the fight, and it looks like the Thunderers are being shut down. The Longbeards need to come in here and support where possible. Looks like we are going to get a Rune of Speed come down. That's going to help buff the Slayers. No, the Slayers don't actually get the buff, unfortunately. Thoric takes the fight up against Loki. Dreaded Duelist is popped though, which is going to counteract Master Rune of Speed rather handily there. It looks like the Dark Shards are being forced off by the Flame Cannon. This Flame Cannon has been MVP by a mile so far for the Dwarf forces. Unfortunately, Slayers are having to commit to a fight up against Bleak Swords to keep it alive, which isn't good news. Rangers probably want to turn and start engaging in these Manticores. The fact both Manticores are still healthy with Loki is really bad news, and it looks like the Dwarfs may get their Lord sniped here. Thoric cannot retreat. He is trying his hardest to get out of this fight, and it is not working. He is now surrounded as well by the Sorceress. Everyone's coming in for a bit of a lick, and that's not going well for him. A bucket ton of friendly fire this time from the Flame Cannon actually wipes out the Buckman Rangers instead of the Harganeth Executioners, though those second volleys do far better damage there. Thoric is not having a good day. Elsewhere in the battlefield, it does look like the Dark Elves are starting to grind down the Dowie forces. Slayers are looking worse for wear. Thunderers are just about holding on and fighting. Rune of Doom does go down. That should assist the Longbeards and Dwarf Warriors in cleaning up the majority of this left-hand flank. But all the Dark Shards are back. You broke them, but you didn't kill them, and that's the problem. We do have some Miners returning. Flame Cannon once again is going to rain shots down on the Dark Shards, doing some nice work. Thunderers have returned. They're trying to shoot into Harganeth Executioners right now. Flame Cannon up to 175 kills. Absolutely absurd work here. But is there anything to kill Loki? That's my main worry. Thoric Ironbrow has been forced off. He is terrified. There's 73 Longbeards. I think the Slayers have been dealt with, and no Rune of Doom on those Longbeards mean they're going to struggle up against someone like Loki, and particularly because a load of the Thunderer Punch has gone. Still have 30 Thunderers down here, which isn't the end of the world. However, it looks like Ice Power knows this. He knows his wins conditions, and he's going to rear charge them with the Dark Riders on top of the Thunderers, doing some nice damage. We do have the Longbeards, though, looking to countercharge. Harganeth Executioners will break. Probably they're just about clinging on to life. They're trying to break the Flame Cannon themselves. Who's going to break first here? Harganeth Executioners do boost for their leadership. Armor Losses kicks in, and the Dowie go down. Woo! That was a game. That was an insane game. That Flame Cannon destroyed like 90% of the Dark Elf build, but what can men do up against such dreaded duelists such as Loki Felhart? The last Slayer, an absolute Chad. Look at him go, surrounded by the dead and dying kin that he has known all his life. He is ready to scrap it out and fight. How will he go down? He goes down to a Manticore. Okay, that's a bit better. I thought he was going to get shot in the back there. But Loki is super strong, 100%. 100%. Loki does some really decent work in combat against other foot characters, and of course the Dwarves kind of have to. Yeah, it's Green One versus Stormrunner after this. He's 50-50 when he fights Grimgor. That's what we need. We need more Grimgor in our life. Dowie lacking mobility is such a weakness, honestly. Yeah, they've got answers to it. They just shoot everyone. But yeah, you can't really control the battlefield too much. This flame cannon has my eternal love, though. 190 kills, 2,333 damage value, over 15k damage dealt. Really kept Grombrindle in this game. For Brow, though, 680 damage value. Just got slapped by Lokir Felheart, unfortunately. Longboots is okay. Thunder's 400 damage value, 300. So the range really did struggle. Apart from that flame cannon, he put everything into protecting it, and it couldn't quite win the day. Nothing really paying for itself apart from that flame cannon in the Dowie force. As for Mr. Ice Power, his army was really battered and beaten, but he claimed victory. 1.3k damage value on Lokir Felheart, 157 on the Sorceress of Beasts. Blink Swords across the board didn't do a crazy amount. The Black Orc Crusaders did good work, though, 600 value and just shy of 600. Harkness Executioners, though eviscerated in flame in the end, they went down manically laughing because they killed 130 Dowie and 67, 1.7k damage value, and 429. This unit on the left kind of got pinned in by miners and eviscerated. Dark Shards came into the later stages of the game, still plenty of ammunition, so I think Ice was relatively comfortable once that flame cannon went down. 580 damage value, 226 and 326. Skirmish Cav didn't do too much apart from backline harass, of course, and the double throw Manticore, 900 damage value, 823. GG. Really tough to win it now. Maybe even Dowie favoured. Ooh, I don't know. That's controversial. Maybe. That was almost very embarrassing. I think the Dark Elves definitely have an advantage. Nowhere near as big as it was. Flame Cannon is a Chad Cannon. So, up next, it shall be Tower of Hoeth. Oh, that was weird. My game, lost all sound for a while. And it's back. Cool. No, and it crashed. I knew it. I knew it was going to crash. I knew it. I could feel it in my bones. Right, let's load back up. It's been, I don't know if it's because of Steam, and it's the Steam updates today, but Total War's been super suspect all day. It wouldn't let me make lobbies earlier. It was so strange. Gosha gets slapped by Lokir, slapped. I'm afraid. Yeah, you can definitely use Rangers against Dark Elves, yeah, for sure. They do pretty good damage to Witch Elf Rush, it's a Slaughter Rush, and can counter Skirmish relatively well as well. Up against Dark Riders and stuff. So, let's host a new one. I knew that was coming, I don't know why. I could hear the game, not having a good day. So, let's invite both of them back. Ice Power. There we go. Let's move to Tower of Hoeth. Boop. And get back to that. So it'd be Ice Power to pick 3 Bantu. Yeah. The Rangers can be pretty good, yeah, for sure. Loka is what all Footlords should aspire to be, just absolute wrecking balls. Flame Cannon was so powerful. It crashed my game. Cool, let's update the scoreboard quickly. It is now 1-0. And after this, we have Green One versus Stormrunner, which is going to be an absolute balmy set of games. Tower of Hoeth is the map. Ice to pick 3. Bantu. Loka to Chad. He was a boss. Marathi looking on, crying. And the betrayal. Oh god, I cannot spell. Oh god, you know what? We're going to save ourselves the embarrassment. She's not good there. She's not good there, I guess. Ice and Luke here. New power couple. Cool. So let these guys pick and ban. Will the cat beta ever be made live? Yeah, it will do. You know, they're just taking the time to try to work out the kinks in it. It'll be like it for a little while. I expect it to be like a week or two more, and they'll probably switch it back. Stream cannot handle the chadness of Dowie artillery. That flame cannon was so fucking hilarious. It was so great. It was so great. I love it. Loki deserves his armor, Sunder, and Blades? I don't know, man. He's already pretty good. He's already pretty good. Dowie are not gone from this best of 3 completely if Ice decides to pick them. Sigval doesn't count. What I want to see is some more Foot Wolfric games, personally. Or Foot Marauder Chieftain. Momo can stick to carry me in every other matchup. Before he got stuck, it was a scam. He did get stuck. He was well and truly wedged there, I'm afraid. Between multiple people. You're just breeding another Sigvald here, Katam. It's all part of Katam's plan. It's all part of his plan. He just wants more Sigvalds. I mean, here's a niche. Yeah, like, Luca's not, like, super powerful, but he's, like, in a few matchups he can be nice and niche. But I feel that's the general for Footlords across the board, really, is they're not going to be good in every matchup, but they have nice niches. Horse Wolfric, though. Katam, I'm going to one-up you. Chariot Wolfric. Come at me. Come at me. Or you can do what I like to call the Uhtred of Bebenberg, and you bring a Marauder Chieftain instead. On Horse or Chariot. Loki deserves a squid summon. Oh, like a Kraken summon! But like baby little squid. I agree, Wicked. I agree. You stand for Archaon, or Arch as we like to call him now. Right, let's quickly end that poll, because... Boop. There we go. Mammoth Wolfric is cool, but like I've seen so much Mammoth Wolfric that I try other Wolfrics now. Looks like you guys thought it was slightly Lizman fed against Beastman, I think. But again, we did just watch Lizman beat Beastman. Uhtred of Norska confirmed, exactly. Uhtred of Bebenber. Bebenber is mine. Uhtred's true plays on foot. Yeah, foot or horseback, I feel. I don't think chariots were around. I don't know, well, chariots had been around before, but I don't think they were in use at that era. At least not to my knowledge. Particularly, they definitely weren't in use in England, I don't think. Unless there were some really obscure uses of them, but I don't think so. Obviously, chariots have been around for a very long time, but kind of go out of existence for a while. Hear me out, Boris Todbringer is the best non-Dowie Footlord. Dowie superiority, you have some explaining to do, good sir. You have some explaining to do. Boris can be a bit of a beast. He can actually be useful. He's like a Walmart Marathi, just hotter. Yeah, he's more dress Ronin, but it leaves more to the imagination with Boris, right? Destiny is all, it is. It is indeed. I can't say the old Danish way of saying that. I'm actually reading the books right now. I'm on to book, oh my god, 8? That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm on 8. Book 8. Which is very cool. Loco is the best Dark Elf in terms of character? I don't know, Malice Darkblade's pretty cool. I mean, his story was so well written that they made him into a tabletop character, because he wasn't originally in the like a character. Someone just wrote a story about him, the Malice Darkblade's like Chronicles, and he was so popular, the book's so popular, they added him into the game. Yeah, I've nearly caught up to the end season logic book form. I'm in like the second half of the latest season, so I'm going to overtake it soon, which is cool. But the books are quite different from the TV show. Yes. Shad gets 2 banned. So it is Empire, Chaos, and Greenskins from Ice Power. He is secretly a Greenskin main, don't let him tell you otherwise. But it looks like we're going to be going Chad Forgrim, also known as Grombrindles, Beastmen into Spice Power or Ice Powers Empire. Because he banned the Chaos, picked Beastmen. Banning Chaos isn't the worst idea. Forsaken's actually really good in that matchup. Ready when you are, bud. Cool. There was a real-life Uhtred. He is not based on the real-life Uhtred. Because real-life Uhtred didn't do, anywhere near as much, as, they don't know too much about him. But, yeah, it's, the main character got the same name as Uhtred because the writer, Bernard Cornwell, I believe that is one of his ancestors. That's why he kind of picked up and found it interesting and started to write about the books. For those who don't know, Last Kingdom is set in kind of a Viking-era England. The main character is a guy called Uhtred of Bernburg. There was a real Uhtred of Bernburg, but our character is not that Uhtred, I'm afraid. But still is a very cool character. And the majority of the characters, or a lot of the characters, are historical, but sometimes they survive longer than they did in history. Sometimes they die a bit earlier to kind of suit the story. But for historic fiction, it's pretty damn good. A lot of the battles did happen, though maybe not in the same ways as they do in the show or book. Very, very different from the book and show. You can do a lot more in books than you can in shows, just for budgeting reasons. But a lot of information has been lost as well. A lot of these battles, we know they happened, we don't know how they happened, so... Yes, yes. Vikings was good for, the first, 3 or 4 seasons. I mean, the first season wasn't the best. They were obviously low budget, but season 2 and 3 were peak Vikings. They were so good. I don't know if you're talking about Last Kingdom, Ronan, or Vikings. If you're talking about Last Kingdom, you take their heresy back, good sir. So it depends what you guys are talking about. Oh, Raptor. I loved Vikings, man. I was such a big fan of Vikings, and it kind of fell off pretty hard, and the first season isn't super good. Last Kingdom is just golden all the way through. It's so good. I do love Vikings. I think they've got the best character out of both the TV shows. I know they often get compared. Ragnar Lothbrok is such an awesome character, but I think story-wise and so forth, those got less of a budget. The Last Kingdom's the way to go, but it is based off, a fantastic set of books, so it has that advantage going for it. You thought Vikings was great till Season 2? Oh no! I thought Vikings was best Season 2 and Season 3. But it's, opinion at the end of the day. Alright, let's have a sip of our drink. We're fighting in the Health Realms here. Looks like the Empire trying to repay Haldir for what we did at Helm's Deep and realign the alliance between men and elves once more. Let's go through the Empire build first. So, of course, we're going to be seeing the one, the only, the true, the main pick you see from Empire these days. Volkmar on his Volkswagen, coming in here with Grand Soulfight and Banishment, but none of the other prayers. That's really interesting. I guess it's a little bit of a cheaper version. He does have Jade Griffin here as well, and of course is Unbreakable. We have Double Caster in the Death Caster with Spirit Leech and a Burning Head of a Bright Wizard. We actually have War Wagons, which is super Chad right now, so we have triple War Wagons. They can do some really good damage to Taurox and other kind of big single entities, and they're really quite hard to catch. We have some Empire Knights lurking in the trees and some in a deep reserve pocket there. The front line's going to be Unbreakable. We have the crazy naked lunatics of Sigma, Sigma Sons, and then some swordsmen and spearmen in the front and secondary battle line, backed up by Halberdiers. Halberdiers are such an underrated unit, very good. I don't know if Raptor's still in chat, but if he is, this close-up's for you. If someone could play some sexy music in the background, this is right. Let's get right nice looking on a halberd. For those who don't know, Raptor, who's one of the mods here, is a halberd main. He'll play anything which has a halberd in it. Really fun build. For the forces of the Beastmen, we have Ungor Spearheads dotted through the front line, including the Destroyers of Drakwold, which is pretty cool. A load of Ungor Raiders, 1, 2, 3, 4 in fact. Some Gore Herds to back them up. We then have Centaurs, more Gores, Razor Gore Herds as well, more Centaurs. So a rather interesting build actually. We also have the Blackhorn Ravengers. This is not the type of build I was expecting, but I love it in every single way. We have the Volkmar killing Jiro once again. We have the Gorbel on the left. And on the right-hand side, Taurox the Brass Bull has re-entered the scrap. Coming in with Brass Body and Blood Beast. Her Brave Shaman of Wild down here. Kind of Traderkin and Brave Scream. Pretty good spells all around. going to be a good, fun scrap. So very much, I'm going to punch you in the face style build. Now, I'm a little worried. There's not that much to kill the War Wagons, apart from the Centaurs, who will get counter-slammed by those Empire Knights if they overextend a little bit. Last Kingdom is so much fun because it's a medieval adventure where the main protagonist has his own goals and ambitions. Yeah, so the TV show Vikings wasn't actually meant to be about one character, and actually the main character was meant to die at the end of season 1, I believe, but he was so popular they kept him in. So it's more of a tale of the Viking era, whereas The Last Kingdom is a tale of a man and kind of his own goals, although they often do unfortunately get dragged away from him and forced into other stuff. But anyway, enough about fantastic TV. Let's hop into some glorious Total War action. So the War Wagons will be pushing up. They're going to be a big, big threat here to the Gorbel, as well as, honestly, the Brave Shaman and Taurox. They can do good damage to all of them. We're going to see a fat burning head come down the line onto the Ungol Raiders. They do attempt to dodge there, but it looks like they were caught. He tried to run backwards and then changed his mind and pushed forward. And that's going to completely roast one unit. The other Ungles are able to escape the fury, though, of the Flaming Skull before moving, just getting a little bit singed through it and moving forward. War Wagons will be getting counter-shot at the moment, but they are 90 armor contraptions. They can really tank quite a decent amount of damage. Now, Volkmar's going to get nice and aggressive. We're going to see a big fat Traderkin go down. I wonder how much it does to War Wagons. That's actually quite interesting. It was overcast here, and we can see that the Taurox and the Gorbel are hunting down Volkmar, forcing him away from the main fight. Traderkin seems to do some pretty decent damage all round to the War Wagons, but it will take quite a few casts to actually bring them down. Big Fat Banishment's going to go down on the back. Good dodge here by Grombrindle, pulling his troops in either direction to try to flee from its fury. The Destroyers of Drakwold aren't faring the best in the front line. In fact, a lot of the Beastman infantry is really struggling. The Brave Shaman, though, is getting in there to help deal with the Sigma Suns. Now, Taurox pulls back. Gorbel has been just, bam, slapped by those shots coming in from the War Wagons, and he is not looking super great right now, down to about half HP already, which is quite early in the battle. Taurox Brass Ball is going deep and dirty onto Volkmar here, doing some pretty nice damage, but it's going to have to retreat rather quickly away from the enemy. We do see a big fat burning head. It is going to catch the Ungol Raiders and the Gore Herds. Razor Gore's going to slam into the Sigma Suns, looking to finish them off, but a lovely burning head is even going to go all the way here, but not quite catch this other unit of Gore Herds, unfortunately. Lotus Centaurs are vibing in deep reserve at the moment, which I don't hate. I kind of understand why he's got them in reserve at the moment. He's trying to bait out these shots, but a lot of them are connecting right now to Taurox doing massive armor-piercing damage, and they're starting to whittle down the mighty beast. Eventually, one of those shots will find its home in his neck, which is, of course, his weak spot. Ungols need to push up. A lot of this Beastman force needs to start moving again and come and assist where possible. Though the Gore Herds are starting to grind their way through the front line, Razor Gore Piggies are now pushing in as well, looking to get to grips with those pesky War Wagons. Lovely counter-charge by the Empire Knights. Centaurs are starting to be activated and move up a little bit more aggressively here. Brave Shaman, still alive, still vibing, probably wants to pull back a little bit, but another Traderkin going down these War Wagons could be absolutely huge. Centaur's going to slam into the front line, whacking back these Halberdiers. They do not want to stay in this combat for too long, though, otherwise they will get decimated. So although they do have a little bit of support coming in the form of these Ungors, however, Volkmar the Grim is going to slam into them, and they decide to fall back. Really good play there by Grombrindle, getting that charge bonus and then falling back. It looks like another Traderkin went down. We're going to need to see at least one more, really, before we start killing models, and that's a big problem because you can see Taurox the Brass Bull and the Gorbel are both very low. Luckily for them, if it's just them versus Volkmar, they'll win that comfortably. His melee stats aren't actually that great. He kind of works a lot more at killing infantry and allowing the ranged troops to dish out the damage to those big units. Centaurs moving around the right-hand side. You can see the Ice Power has left two Empire Knights in a nice reserve position to countercharge any of this type of pressure, and a Spirit Leech as well, though it does look like one War Wagon gets caught a little bit there. Empire Knights should be able to see these guys off, though they are going to fall back. Burning Head goes down in the back, doing some decent damage there to the Ungol Raiders, who are still alive and healthy. Taurox and the Gorbel looking quite bad right now and quite injured, not too happy to be on the battlefield. Halberdiers are going to push through now that they've managed to circumvent a lot of the melee infantry. Volkmar the Grim will love the fact a load of the Beastman forces are being driven back right now, because that means he can just kill an infinite amount of Beastman infantry. It would take so many to drag him down. Banishment does come down, honestly, though Grombrindle's had some really good micromanagement so far on juking these big banishment shots. Ungol Raiders do manage to flee, and just like I say that, they kind of tease on the edge. They're kind of licking at the banishment. Maybe it'll give us secret powers, who knows. Taurox needs to be very careful right now. I'd maybe even pop Bar's body anytime he comes in range of anything that can shoot him. War Wagons are being really problematic right now, and they still have decent amounts of ammunition. Centaurs have been forced back by a combination of Volkmar and the Empire Knights on the right-hand side. Left-hand side, Razor Gores are being dealt with, and it looks like the men of the Empire are in a state here of kind of ascendancy. They are on the rise. Will we see another Traderkin go down? Because the War Wagons are getting really low HP wise. Finishing off or breaking 2 units could be crucial into keeping these legendary heroes of the Beastmen culture alive and in the action. Centaurs are trying their hardest. Brave Shaman's popped in here as well, trying to bring some nice damage onto these knights, but it's starting to get a little bit surrounded and bogged down. It looks like the Gorbel as well as Taurox wanted to come over here and assist, but simply cannot due to the pressure here of those War Wagons. Ungol Raiders are going to be shooting into the knights, looking to drag them down. Better friendly fire coming in, but the Brave Shaman should be able to live to fight another day. Taurox down to 1.2k HP, which is really not good news for him. Gorbel as well is starting to struggle, although it looks like the Brave Shaman is going after that Deathcaster, who will be popping a Spirit Leech, no doubt, on Taurox Brass Bull, looking to finish him off for good. No more Traderkins have been coming in. That's really unfortunate. We need one coming in if the Beastmen want any hope of winning this, because if not, they're simply going to go down. This War Wagon has actually finally lost one of its artillery pieces, but it's going to be able to fall back and really reap havoc on the Brave Shaman if it so deems necessary. We are getting yet another Traderkin go down just about before that Brave Shaman does disappear, and that could be huge here. War Wagon, oh no, Army Losses kicks in just as he does it, oh no! And it is going to be an Empire victory. No War Wagon mortars, so no meme points there for Ice Power, but very, very good play by Ice there. He played this best of 3 really well, particularly after being put on the back foot from that early game, and it's not every day you can take down Grombrindal's Dowie, but also his Beastmen. Very good at Beastmen player. Really good work there by Ice. Volkmar the Grim, only 646 damage value, but still 81 kills, applying a lot of pressure, keeping the Beastmen at bay in a way, buying time for him to whip that damage out with the War Wagons. Deathcaster only 200 value, but hey, it was 200 value on Taurox, and that's all that matters. Really nice burning heads with the Bright Wizard, just shy of 1,000 damage value, over 11k damage dealt, and 55 kills. Spinning across the board did not do too terrible or too great. How it is, 676 damage value is kind of the standout there. But apart from that, nothing too crazy from the majority of the foot troops. I like the play of the Empire Knights, keeping them in reserve to counterpunch Centaurs where possible. Big kills as well here on the Lunatics, 100 kills and 90. War Wagons got 1.2k damage value, 1k value and 734. Really good play by them just to whittle down the Brass Bull. As for Grombrindal here, put up a fantastic fight. Only 400, or just shy of 400 damage value though, on poor little Taurox isn't too amazing. Gorbel, 383 damage value, 1.8k though on that Brave Shaman. Not quite enough though to finish off those War Wagons. Infantry across the board obviously suffered under the tyrannical rule of poor little Volkmar. Gore Herds, best one was 658 damage value. Ungol Raiders, yeah, not great unfortunately for the cavalry and the ranged troops there. But GG's. See you Duck, see you Ice, no worries, GG. Thanks for the game, men. GG Bud, good studies. That was awesome set of games. See you in the finals, Ice. So up next we have Stormrunner and Green One. War Wagon Army OP, please fix. Exactly, exactly. What a beautiful textbook Empire play. Yeah, that was some really good play. The War Wagons did some good work. Yeah, Raptor was asking for War Wagon mortars. I kind of agree. Yeah, having an unbreakable front line is really good, Jesse. It's really good. See, no worries. Sorry, guys, I'm going to have to kick here so we can get the other guys in. So, Green One and Stormrunner, if you guys are around, feel free to hop in. Let me update the scoreboard for now and switch the map, so it should be Eschen. So, we'll leave the scoreboard up for now until the guys join the lobby. You are up now. Password 123. Awesome. And it shall be, I believe, should be Green One picking and banning first. And let's invite Storm as well. Don't know if I have Green One as a friend on here. I definitely have Storm. So let's drop him an invite. And let's like Green One is here. Yo! Welcome. That was a really cool best of 3. Hopefully if this one matches up to that, it's going to be good. Do ducks hop? I can hop for sure. On my one little duck foot. The first battle has been spectacular. Yeah, that best of 3 was honestly amazing. That first game in particular was so good. Ronan is a coward and I love him. Oh, Ronan! Oh, I don't know if you're still in chat, bro. Gorn Brindle, man, you played amazing. Well played, dude. That could have gone either way, some of those games. Let's drop Stom a little message. You are a bud. Password. There. Cool. Let's update the scoreboard now. So, 2-1 series. Very close games there between Ice Power and Gorn Brindle. I actually had some amazing games against Gorn Brindle recently in a tournament as well. They were so fun. So, let's change this round. Let's just put... Oh, we might better fit Storm. We can fit Storm Runner in, maybe. Let's just call him Storm for now, I think. Just so we can make his name nice and bold and big. He's Storm. Bam. There we go. And then we have the green one. I think we can just about fit that in. Although it will be a little bit smaller. So it's like the green one. There we go. And the maps shall be Eschen, Crack Asgul, and Troll Country. Cool. Ronan secretly is the, which Ronan though? Exactly. Ronan is indeed the Pineapple Lord. Malverde, I think I have a replay from you, which, I don't know if it's from you or someone playing against you, where you may be on the channel soon. He does eat pineapple on pizza, it is known. It is known. Pineapple OP, for sure. So, let's give Storm a few minutes, and let me sort out a new poll. So, question's going to be, which faction will you play first? So obviously for Total Warhammer 3. And the options are Kislev. So I can only add 4 options. So I do the 4 we know at the moment. So Kislev, Khorne, Cathay, and Tzeentch. Obviously, we're pretty sure there's Old Kingdoms, and we know there's Nurgle and Slaanesh. But let's see what these are. Black Fawn is linking my Discord. Thank you, champ. Thank you. Nice new duck bot. You got Ducky? I know. It's the Black Fawn variety. It's extra expensive, but it's extra classy at the same time. So hopefully Storm will be appearing soon. Honestly, I know there's a lot of hype for Cathay and Tzeentch right now. I may play Kislev first, though. Am I having a stroke? Where's the volume? Oh, the music may have gone because I was out of the game. Can you guys still hear me? What's your opinion on the Cav beta? The Cav beta is fine. Like, I like the fact Cavalry's a bit better. It does play even more into the hands of the current meta, which is very skirmish focused with some cavalry to protect. But you know, I think it's good all around. I personally, I know this is gonna like upset a lot of people. Personally, if I was in charge of the balance, I would make the majority of skirmish cav lose 2 to 3 ammunition, just to try to stop them being like prominent in every single game. But you know, we saw a best of 3 there. We didn't see that much skirmish cav, to be honest. So you know, maybe it's just my playstyle is easily beaten by skirmish cav, and that's why I'm like, oh, I hate it. I hate it. Yo yo, Mr. Green One, to pick and ban first. Oh no, I think Green One may have crashed. Oh well, we're getting back in. Did Green One join ODM? Yeah, Green One is a trainee at ODM, I believe. Why isn't Dowie an option for Total Warhammer 3? I mean, there will be like a month or something at the start where we only have the like 6 factions which come with the game. But to be honest, like, that's all anyone's going to play to start with, and then they'll bring the other factions in, which should be cool. Far will always active. I love how Black Fawn does it like a bot. Like the Slaanesh bots who appear. Chat with Big Ducks here. with big ducks, ducklings. I love it. Wood elves are basically pineapple eaters. I feel like wood elves would be really shocked by them. Oh, you mean they have to have Fire at Will always active on the skirmish cav? Yeah, possibly that could help. Well, I'd feel really bad if they just wasted ammo into gobos and stuff. Let's go, Stormrunner says Cat Teller's here to cheer on his clanmate. I'm back, no worries, it's all good. I pick Norska, Band, Counts, and Wood Elves. Green One's such a cool player because we've again have had games recently as well in the best of 7, and we had a Norska mirror match, which was pretty damn legendary. He's a very good Norskan player. There's a few of them still left kicking around. Every time I see Falcon play Norska, he's still very good with them, despite the fact he's not very active at the moment. Katalm's very good with Norska. Oh god, sorry guys. Struggling to not burp that straight into my mic. So I'm excited to see some more Norskans in action. And it's chaos, so it's just a straight up scrap. We probably will see a massive amount of skirmish cav in this matchup, but you know, it is what it is. Quackity quack. Did it take like 6 months to say to bring Game 1 into Game 2? This is true, although they've actually spoken on that. Obviously, it was the first time they'd ever done it, and I think Mortal... I was about to call it Mortal Engines, that's not the right word. Mortal Empires was a lot bigger an undertaking than they initially predicted. So they said this time they're a lot more prepared for it, and they want to make it kind of happen in weeks rather than months. That was the statement they released a while ago. Just having some lovely water there. Why not available for PlayStation? Oh, this game. Would love to play. Stuck watching. It's RTS games don't work on PlayStation. I know they tried it with like Halo Wars for a while. I think I had Age of Empires as a kid on PlayStation 2, believe it or not. But unless you could plug in a mouse and keyboard, you just couldn't compete. You really couldn't compete, unfortunately. It'd be cool if they did find a way to do it, but you just can't play this type of game on a controller. It doesn't work the same. But hey, I don't know if you can set up a mouse and keyboard on PlayStation. I know for a lot of games you can set up a controller onto PC, and that's how I do for a lot of games, because I grew up playing console games rather than PC games. So in like a first-person shooter, I'm going to be really garbage unless I'm allowed a controller. So maybe there's a way of, doing that in reverse. Storm on it is ready to rumble. He knows what's up. I like this matchup. It's much better than VP for me, or at least all greenskins. Mate, playing this on VR would be insane, Katam. It'd be insane. It'd be kind of cool to be able to play on VR as one of the soldiers in a Mountain Blade situation. I think I've never got the Mountain Blade hype. Well, like I understand it, but when it came out, I didn't have the game or anything, and I kind of missed it. But I think they're doing a Warhammer mod, so I kind of want to play it, but I feel like I should probably play the base game before I hop straight into a Warhammer mod for it, and like do some like, I don't know. I don't think there's like lizardmen in the game, but we could do like a real awesome like story-driven thing where we make our own goals and try to complete a story with the help of chat. Yeah, Jesse kind of pits over. I mean, maybe on a PlayStation 5, Luke, it would be able to run. I think you'd definitely be able to run it. It's more the controls would be problematic. Alright, it's going to be a mass skirmish game. Most likely 6 skirmish cav from both sides, normally in this matchup. I don't know if Storm's going to do that. Storm may go a little bit more rock and roll with some skirmish cav to try to counteract. Super cool, love your vids. Thanks for the reply. You demand good luck. Thank you so much, Luke. Thank you so much. I'm horrible with a keyboard. It takes time, man. I did play Total War games. Actually, before we got into Total Warhammer 2, me and my housemate kind of sat down. We played through, like, next to each other, basically, played through some medieval campaigns. I did all of the small campaigns for medieval, like the the story-driven ones, like there's one in the Viking era, which was awesome. There was like a Crusader one and stuff. I played a full campaign as Sicily. Took over the world, man. France had my back right up to the end and they stabbed me. They, through multiple times of me being kicked out by the Pope, they backed me up rather than the Pope. It was amazing. I did some Rome campaigns, did Alexander the Great. It was so much fun, and then we hopped onto Total War Warhammer when we got decent enough PCs. Anyway, enough of my ramblings here. The green one, a legendary warrior of ODM, comes to the battlefield to spill the blood of his enemies. Has a bucket ton of skirmish calves, so Marauder Horsemen and Horsemasters dotted all throughout. Looks like triple Horsemasters and then triple Horsemen as well. We have Marauders with great weapons, Marauders, sort of cheap and cheerful infantry, a mixture of basic troops as well as those with great weapons. We do indeed get Wulfric the Wanderer on horseback. Not quite Uhtred of Bebbanburg, because he's not a Marauder chieftain, he is Wulfric of the Wanderer clan, but you know, he's still going to be a bit of a badass. Coming in with Hunter Champions, Fight or Die, and Seafang. And down on the ground we have a Shaman Sorcerer of Metal with Final Transmutation. And that's not it, actually. We have Double Threat Manticore up in the sky, and the Soul Crusher, here to devour the souls of its victims and then crush them into a small paste. It has, in range, that 40% damage resistance. A very tanky and beautiful beast indeed. For the forces here of the Warriors of Chaos, we do have some Chaos Warhounds of Poison on the right-hand side, triple Marauder Horsemen to counter-skirmish the enemy, actually one Horsemaster in there as well, and the same on the left-hand side, double Horsemen and one Horsemaster. So actually, the Norscan Skirmish Cav does have a slight advantage here. With more Chaos Warhounds, the Warhounds could prove pretty huge actually. Frontline is a mixture of Forsaken and Chosen. Oh, this is such a gangster build. So we have Forsaken in the front line here, and we have Chosen with Halberds in the secondary line, two of them, and then a Chaos Sorcerer of Fire up in the skies on a two-headed Chaos Dragon. Coming in today with the Burning Head, Flame Sword of Rune, Fireball. This is going to be an absolute blast of a game. Now, the Chaos basically have to just sacrifice their Skirmish Cav to kill the Norscan Skirmish Cav, and they're in a fantastic situation because of these Chosen, who will do so much damage to all the large entities, while the Forsaken kill the infantry fight. Big problem though for this Chaos Sorcerer Lord is the Double Threat Manticore. It is going to be a bit of a problem. Now, he is on the top of a dragon, but two single entities versus one can be a little bit rough. Soul Crusher, go Mammoth, go! Sicily? Yeah, I went Sicily. It was an entire army of pineapples. I painted the entire map. I took over the entire map on Medieval, which also means going to America at one point. France was my ally through, like, the entire campaign. And multiple times the Pope excommunicated me and, like, kicked me out of, like, you know, the religious, like, little group of homies. And France were like, no, F the Pope, we go with our buddies. And at the very end, there was, like, me and, like, 3 factions left maybe, and France kept in armies near my cities and then running away, and eventually they broke the alliance, and it broke my little heart, but I did butcher them to the last man. The beginning will indeed be a nightmare. High elves aren't on the pole. It is true, it is true. Green one called me out, so I root for Storm, of course. Too many Chad units for my body to withstand. There's a lot of Chad in this build. This Chaos build is pretty gangster. Ice Cube would enjoy this build quite a bit, I think. Quite a bit. So, Skirmish Cav on Skirmish Cav is being popping forward now. One advantage Stormrunner does have, of course, is the Warhounds. One thing he does not want to do, though, is overextend them and allow them to be crushed by Horsemasters in combat. And just as I say that, he might be able to escape here. This unit of Warhounds may get just routed off the battlefield, which could be very problematic. This is a big misplay right off the gate. And they are broken. And they are running back to friendly territory here. Just going to take a quick sip of my drink and feel my voice dying. Ah, there we go. The Warhounds will be getting finished off here. Now, there might be a notion to kind of move these horsemen out to the right, just to make these guys pay for hunting down the Warhounds. I think would be a good idea. But it looks like Green One has got the early engagement on that right-hand side going down rather well. Forsaken are having to push forward now, looking to get to grips with that enemy battle line. Horsemen trying to drive back the Norscan horsemen where possible. A little bit like a kill, unfortunately. Oh, my voice, I can feel it dying. Oh no. The horsemen are doing decent damage to the Horsemaster, but honestly, it's a bit tit for tat right now, apart from those Warhounds going down, and the Forces of Chaos going real nice and aggressive. So the Marauders are going to turn to face the Forsaken. They want to countercharge if possible, particularly downhill. They are running for their lives right now. Forsaken are rather swift. They're going to try and allow the great weapons to be the ones to get the charge in. Forsaken are about to kind of forsake their vows and probably run away because a Soul Crusher is coming in and it is going to slam them up to 4 kills out of the gate from that thunderous charge. And all the skirmish cav has been forced back into a box now. Forsaken can do a good job up against these Marauders, but the Chosen are a little bit further behind. And they're not able to support their brothers. Big fat boat goes down the line, roasting those Forsaken, but Counter Punch comes in immediately here from that Chaos Sorcerer Lord in the skies. Burning Head roasts some Marauder great weapons. The other unit is able to escape, however, so a really good trade there for the forces of Norska. Something which won't be a good trade, though, is the Soul Crusher, as it has charged in to the Chosen with Halberds, and he needs to run away very, very quickly, because he is going to be getting ripped to sunder. Big old chunks of mammoth fur and flesh being dragged off its skeletal frame. The other Chosen trying their hardest right now, but the skirmish game definitely is in a state of kind of a victory for the Norskans at the moment. Warhounds do catch the Horsemasters. Horsemasters, though, are decent melee combatants themselves, and they are going to be able to withstand the fight here, and the kind of thunderous charge from the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, they managed to just about cling on, which is really good news for them, otherwise they certainly would be off the battlefield. But with Ferromancer Corps here, we also have Wolfred the Wanderer. Things looking really bad for Chaos out of the gate. Some of their horsemen themselves are launching Javelin after Javelin into the Soul Crusher, but Enrage is currently popped. Chosen are actually on top of some of the horsemen right now, so a little bit of micromanagement there from the Norskans. Big Fat Burning Head's going to try to catch the Horsemasters, but they are dragged away as the Chaos Sorcerer Lord attempted to escape. Ferromancer Corps in the rear, Hunter Champions goes down, and this is going to be a swift victory for the Norskans. It's going to be a quick game one way or another once these battle lines did meet. I think Greenwood just managed to get the slightly better engagements across the board there. And the Chaos Sorcerer Lord going down like this, it's only a matter of time, and it looks like the Chaos shall be bowing out there. Well played to these champs. The skirmish fight wasn't too long there. You can see damage value looking, pretty average across the board for the Norskans, but this one unit of Horsemasters, 1.3k value, and they simply had just too much quality in their skirmish cav with the assistance of the fast mobile manticores. Forstorm wanted to deal with his skirmish cav itself, performed really poorly and didn't get that much damage value whatsoever. Likewise, the Warhounds, they will do fine up against basic horsemen, but Horsemasters charging into Warhounds can quite comfortably break them and chase them off the battlefield there. Wolfred the Wanderer on horseback, just shy of 1.4k damage value, a mighty 9 kills. Only 5 damage value on the Shaman Sorcerer, so it doesn't look like any magic was actually used. Infantry as well were just born to die, but hey, they did their job today. Soul Crusher, only 373 damage value, but managed to absorb a decent amount. Chaos Sorcerer Lord, 181 damage value, and the Forsaken, it's not good shown by them. Even the Halberds as well. Honestly, nothing performed really good, unfortunately, in this Chaos build. Basically, all getting in the kind of low hundreds ratings for damage value. So there's a nice victory there by the green one. Up next, we will be moving on to Karak Azgul. GG, well played. Dragon can't kill Skirmish Cav shows the state of monsters at the moment. Yeah, the Dragon got absolutely obliterated. It was quite isolated alone though, up against like 3 units. Oh, there's a new mechanic which is going to nerf Singlenty slightly, but I don't think it's actually a huge nerf. It is a little bit. Worst Lord in the game? Oh, that is a good question. That is a good question. I'll leave chat to debate what the worst Lord in the game is. Malverda, yes, he is now ODM. He is ODM now. Norska need rework like Wood Elves with settlements and so on. Yeah, I think Norska will get a rework. They've kind of alluded to it already. Well, they were like, oh hey, none of the Game 1 factions are complete yet. We're still working on more stuff for like every faction. And they specifically mentioned Norska had been left behind a little bit. And that's something they wanted to correct in Warhammer 3. Dragon got caught at his weakness fighting. Yeah, true. Yes, Green bought a Metal Caster with Final Transmutation. Oh, I see you're on a secret WhatsApp, Malverde. Rakarth is... yeah, Rakarth's pretty terrible. Rakarth's pretty bad. He may count a dragon. I was going to cast some games between me and... Just Captellus. We have either a calf one waiting in the back, which I'm going to do at some point. Grimgor's not the worst. Grimgor, like, isn't great, but he can actually deliver a pretty good punch. I don't hate him against dwarfs either. He basically does the low KFL half end, but he's very niche. Stormrunner's going Dark Elves. What? Storm, it is pick and double ban. I'm assuming that's what Green one did. Yeah, it is. Oh, Dark Elves, ban Greenskins, and Wood Elves. Cool. So, ban Greenskins and Wood Elves. I particularly agree with the Wood Elf ban there, as, like, going up against them with the Dark Elves. Greenskins I don't hate playing as Dark Elves. It's not perfect, but Marathi can sometimes carry in that matchup, and I've seen it work before. Tretch is also very bad, but he's also super cheap. Yeah, Altharian's not amazing either. Altharian, Rakarth, Tretch. But Tretch's just like so cheap. You can just sit him in a corner, he won't die. The problem is no one picks him because there's just better options. Ronan, you lack the faith. Oh, what was that? I mean, Norskins are still winning Catan. They just won that game, so I'm gonna say a petition for CA for that Norskins are a little OP. He also lacks pineapples now. Ronan has all the pineapples. He has them all. Can you tell I signed up last minute? It is true. It is true. Dark Elves v Chaos. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. That is an interesting counter pick. I think that's Dark Elf favoured. Let's do a poll. Ronan definitely does not like arrows. He has plenty of arrows. Oh, I need to end the first poll. Sorry. And then we'll open up a new one. So most of you guys... Oh, Kislev, 30%. Zinch, 28%. Yeah, they're my favourite two so far. Then Confay, then Korn. I think Korn are going to be real rock and roll and fun, but they're pretty, like, you know... they're pretty straightforward. Which faction does this match up favour? Chaos or Dark Elves? I feel like this is Dark Elf favoured. Personally. Hell Cannons can be really good here. But I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced this is Chaos favoured by any means. I'll speak about Ice Power about it at some point. He's a resident Dark Elf player. Oh, it's a nice big fat stretch. It's a weird counter pick, but maybe it's just the faction he knows and it's the best one he has into Dark Elves. Yeah, Tic-Tac-Toe doesn't bring much to the table. I mean, he does bring... Oh, sorry, I need to move a plate away now. Oh, keep bumping into a plate on the floor, one will. I mean... oh no, what was I going to say? Yeah, Tic-Tac-Toe like, doesn't bring that much to the battlefield. He punches like a lettuce that has been beaten up and kind of left in the rain and it's nice and soggy. But he doesn't die and he's very cheap, so... Yeah, when Sinesh, Nurgle and Ogres show up, the survey would be different, true. I just can't add more to the list. Ben on Hell Cannon box from green. I think going like Onion Hell Cannon's the way to do it. You bring a Hell Cannon, maybe two Hell Cannons, and then you just try your damnedest to protect those Hell Cannons while they kill the entire Dark Elf build. But that is way easier than said than done. Like, Marathi can beam them with her little bolt. You can Spirit Leech them down. There's like a load you can do against them. Storm does love an elite infantry rush though. He just saw Forsaken and Chosen with Halberds. So there's a good chance we get like hard off Executioners and stuff here. Which the Hell Cannon would be great against, but he's got to shut it down. Dark Elf favored unless he has some specialist build. A lot of people bring Chaos to counter Dark Elves. It always amazes me. The VM Chaos build is very good against Dark Elves. Be interested to see what that is. I don't know if Green 1 knows that build or if he's going to bring it. Anyway guys, if you're enjoying the stream, feel free to like, feel free to subscribe, feel free to yell quack at me. These are all things possible on this stream. Let me quickly update the scoreboard, because I completely forgot. And this is the second semi-final. We still have a best-of-5 finals to come as well, so plenty more action left in the tank. Plenty left. Big Bird, double Mantis, lots of skirmish and 2 Hell Cannons. Yeah, that's kind of like the standard way of playing this for Chaos. I still think it's not perfect. I feel like Sword Runner Chariots are amazing against the build, although you kind of shoot them with your Hell Cannon. So it can kind of come a bit of a race to see who can kill the Hell Cannon first, or if you lose your Scourge Runners. Ready when you are, sir. Awesome. Looks like they're both ready. So let's get to it. Ice, you have returned. You might be able to speak some truth on this matchup. I've put up the poll. Who do you think this matchup favours? Personally, I think it's... because Green 1 countered Stormrunner's Dark Elves. Personally, I think it's still Dark Elf favoured. In my humble little duck opinion. Though loads of people counter Dark Elves with Chaos. So, you know, I might be wrong. I might be wrong. Maybe I just like the matchup as that player. Stormrunner will take something freaky. He does like to take freaky stuff. Yeah, the Marathi spell abilities, Fireballs, Spirit Leeches, there's a lot of way to kill Hell Cannons, which can be a problem. But as I said before, Storm doesn't necessarily play to the meta, he plays to his own vibe, which I really like to watch, to be honest. Because, one, it's something interesting and new, and he had a real cool build before where he had the most ridiculous Dark Elf build live on stream, and he got the wannabe Hydra as like weapon strength to an insane number. Question, do you see fixed cavalry as units in charges and fights? Yes. That's what we're on now. We're on the Mr. Yaradrian. We're on the Cav Beta, so it's there to fix cavalry. Yeah, like honestly, for what the game is, the amount of factions there are, this is a really hard game to balance. I honestly think they've done a pretty solid job. I know that there's always going to be stuff which is more powerful, and always stuff that's going to be weak. But considering what it is, I think they've done a pretty solid job. So we do have the Solid Damnation, a single Hell Cannon, which is kind of what we expected here from this build. So the Solid Damnation looking pretty disgusting and ugly as always, looking to take the high ground, no doubt. Again, a load of Skirmish Cav in the form of Horse Masters, so triple Horse Masters and double Horsemen, so 5 units of Skirmish Cav today, and a load of Chaos Warriors of Great Weapons. A bucket ton of Chaos Warriors of Great Weapons, and some Chaos Marauders of Great Weapons, and basic ones as well. Up in the skies, we do have an Exalted Hero, alongside a rather lovely Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Death, and he's looking pretty angry. I really like these Manticores. The heavily armoured ones are always a little bit more badass for me. His Arcane Conduit, he's actually coming with the Fated unit, which is very cool. And we have Spirit Leech, so a nice little aerial core to boot. For the forces of the Dark Elves, let's see what it is. It is a load of Bleak Swords. So Bleak Swords dotted through the front line. We do have Marathi, so Ice Power. It looks like your lady, after watching you and Mr. Fellheart kind of go behind her back, has betrayed you and allied herself to Stormrunner. Coming in, of course, with the Wand and Soul Sealer and Melkoff's Mr. Fun, Miasma. We have the rather pink The Crow's Cane Harpies. They actually look really cool. I've never done that much of a close-up on them before. They're going to be swooping in, trying to bring pain to the enemy. We do have Dark Rise with Repeater Crossbows, 2 units of Scourge Runner Chariots, and the Snatchers Harvesters Doomfire Warlocks hidden in the trees. We have 1 unit of Shades over in the distance with Great Weapons, and on this side we have another unit of Shades with Great Weapons looking to hunt down that Cannon Crew. Now the big problem is going to be the Skirmish Cav. We do have Scourge Runner Chariots to deal with them, but it will take them time to finish them off, and the air game will be ticking down. Though Marathi is such a powerful duelist because of her debuff, she's a little bit squishy, but combined with the Crows will probably actually... would they beat the Exalted Hero and Chaos Sorcerer Lord? Maybe. It's tough to say. A lot of RNG would come down, plus the Sorcerer Lord has magic himself, so that of course would be factored in. Double Manticore, they'd be fine, but Exalted Hero and Chaos Sorcerer Lord Death is a different bucket of fish altogether. This is the perfect meta description. Watch Chaos build infantry, cheap infantry, skirmish cav, or manticore. Yeah, that's very powerful. Ladies' night out. Yeah, exactly. Where's Kolak? There's a little Warren. Opinion units with immune to psychology shouldn't be affected by Marathi's debuffs. Oh! Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's not honestly a bad idea, but like, anything that's kind of related to that. But anyway, it is what it is. Hell Cannon shot going in, and it does miss. Miss those Bleak Swords, not really doing any damage whatsoever. Tickled them, but no loss of life just yet. Marathi's going to float forward and come to greet a load of Marauder Horsemen, as well as a big Hell Cannon shot to the face. Now, Hell Cannons are actually really good at tying down Marathi and other Flying Lords. We're going to get hit by a Spirit Leech, we're going to get hit by a Hell Cannon, and a load of Horsemen will be there as well. Marathi can fall back. She does, of course, have the potential to heal in the later stages of the game. Hell Cannon shot now goes into the Crows of the Cane, who are a little bit squishy to range far, only 15 armor. And you can see Storm tries to pull back, but they took so much long-range damage there. And another Hell Cannon shot is going to be going into their rear. And oh my god, that's so much damage off the gate. Now, these Great Weapon Shades really need to get their high knees moving and shut down the Soul of Damnations where possible. They're quite a good counter-skirmishing tool, actually, as well, to the Horsemen. Dark Rise doing a decent job so far against the Horsemen, but these are the Horsemen, not the Horse Masters, who have been left in deep reserve by Green One till the later stages of the game, which I think is a relatively solid play. Squadron Chariots can now open up fire, and it looks like they're going to be going after some of the Horse Masters. Not a bad target whatsoever, and the Flying Core for Chaos is being kept in deep reserve. Horsemen being forced back now by the Dark Rider Skirmish. Harpies and Marathi need to come back over here and get a little more aggressive again, although I do understand the need to pull them back, because Bleak Swords will not win these frontline engagements, and that's going to be a big problem. Squadron Chariots can do a little bit of cycle charging onto the enemy to try to help win the front line, but then you're probably going to get to the emergence of the Exalted Hero. So Shades are now shooting into the Soul of Damnation. It will take them a while to bring down the Fell Contraption, because of course these dwarfs are unbreakable, but they will be able to do it. We'll have to see if Green One is paying enough attention. Big burst damage coming down now. Cavalry is moving to go after those Shades, which isn't a bad idea, but the front line is completely broken for the High Elves, which is quite scary stuff. Dark Elves, sorry. Oh my god, they'd wreak dreadful torture on me if they heard me say it, calling them High Elves. So it looks like the Crows of the Cane, or whatever they're called, yeah, the Crows of the Cane, are getting in now to dish out damage to the Exalted Hero and Chaos Sorcerer Lord. Unfortunately for them, there's a lot of fire coming in from the Horsemen looking to assist, and those Crows are dealt with. We are going to be able to beam down on the Soul of Damnation. Real smart thinking by Green One. He's going to pull off the Chaos Dwarfs there to escape. Unfortunately, they died to the last man, so the Hell Cannon has indeed been dealt with. We need to see a load of skirmish now come in from the Dark Elves if they want to win this, because Shades are currently being shut down by Cavalry and Chaos Marauders. Unlikely he can save them, but the Dark Riders have a load of ammunition left, and Marathi has plenty left in the tank with those Soul Sealers. And yeah, it's still certainly doable, particularly if the Squadrons left shooting in and picking apart the enemy leadership of the Warriors of Chaos. Shades of Great Swords, they've done their duty. They're now carving up some Marauder Horse Masters rather nicely, and they're going toe-to-toe with Marauders. Let's see how much speed they are. 35 versus 42. Yeah, Shades should probably be kiting this, actually, and pulling back away from these combat units. There's a lot of Skirmish Cav, though, still left to contend with. The Snatchers Harvesters are a little bit scared there of the Air Core. I do not blame them. It is a rather scary Air Core. So they're going to be pulling back here, trying to save the Shades. I don't think that's going to work, unfortunately. They're going to slam into these Great Weapons and Horsemen. If I'm Green One, I'm moving into combat with this and get a nice full chubby surround. And that's just what he's going to do, because that will allow him to bring over his Manticores. And this is a dead unit of Snatchers Harvesters right here. Though there is a lot of shots coming from the Dark Riders, and it is a bit of a trap. Soul Stealer will go down from the Doomfire Warlocks themselves, catching all these units, doing some pretty nice damage. Now, balance power is still dead even. Squadron Chariots have a load of ammunition, and want to be using it on all the key targets, because you can kind of run over infantry in the later stages of the game with the Chariots and break them. Now, where is Marathi? She's still alive. She is still well and truly alive, and having an absolute blast. Dark Riders are going to continue to shoot in. He's really going for that assassination attempt now on the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, and I do not blame him. Marathi's showing a little bit of elbow, showing a little bit of knees there, trying to drag this Chaos Sorcerer Lord over in this direction, but he has absolutely none of it right now. Chariots do push in with the Crows of Cain, looking to overrun these Chaos Warriors. They're making a meal of it, though. If they start losing models, that's going to be a big problem. So rather wisely, Stormrunner is going to pull back out of there and get back to relative safety of friendly territory. We do have Bleak Swords rallying and charging back into the Chaos Warriors. Murderous prowess flowing through their veins. But, you know, they're not going to be able to win that fight too well. Spirit Leech does go down on the Squadron of Chariots, not a bad target whatsoever, and that Chaos Sorcerer Lord is starting to get a little bit low here as the Squadron of Chariots continue to shoot those piercing bolts up at him, dragging him lower and lower. Warriors of Chaos, though, are in a state of advantage right now. After like some initial really early losses, the ammunition will start to wane, and if they can't kill those big targets, there is so much infantry left, it's going to be pretty tough for the Dark Elves to deal with. The Chaos Marauders are starting to rally. A lot of the Warriors of Chaos managing to come back together to form a big old wrecking ball once more. And Marathi, she may have to take a risk here and try to assassinate the Chaos Sorcerer Lord herself. Dark Riders are counter-shooting at the moment into the Marauder Horsemen, doing some nice damage, but likewise there's a lot of damage coming back into them. Squadron of Chariots going to continue to try to shoot down the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, who is a little bit idle right now actually, and takes a few bolts, nothing too crazy damage-wise, but hey, it all adds up at the end of the day. Dark Riders continue to pour fire in, looking to break the Chaos Marauders as well as these Chaos Horsemasters down on the sides. Marathi, though, is taking a lot of damage from the Skirmish Cav, and that's also something which is quite scary and we haven't spoken about too much. But even if he kills the Lord, this Skirmish Cav can kill Marathi. She gets hit with a Spirit Leech, so she's definitely going to have to use another Soul Sealer soon. His old hero does bomb dive the Squadron of Chariots, but they all manage to get away with their lives, and they continue to shoot in, now doing damage to those Chaos Warriors with the help of the Dark Riders. But the more ammunition which gets used up, the closer this will get to army losses, and that's really bad news here for Stormrunner as the Horsemen start to surround and push back the Dark Elf forces. Marathi is looking to maybe pick an engagement here with the Exalted Hero. No, popping a Soul Seal instead on the Chaos Warriors and the Horsemasters. And it's going to do a nice amount of damage. That should allow Marathi enough kind of punch, you would think, to take on the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Death. Particularly on this, just popped Arcane Conduit. I thought he was about to get hit by another spell. We do have Deadly Onslaught popped. Marathi is a sandwich, but not the type of sandwich she likes. She's going to fall back right now, but her wand does not pop off in time. The Chaos Sorcerer Lord survives by the scruff of his neck, and that is going to be a 2-0 to the green one, who shall be moving on to today's finals up against Ice Power. Well played to Storm, have a good fight there in that second game. 1.2k damage value on Marathi. Bleak Swords just struggled. There was not much they could do. I kind of like the Shades of Grey weapons. That's a really fun inclusion. 76 and 72 kills apiece. 1.5k damage value and 850 on the other unit. 500 damage value on the Slanesh Harvesters, Doomfire Warlocks. Dark Riders didn't fare too well. They used up a decent amount of ammunition, but it just wasn't on the key targets. Squadron of Chariots, 480 and 430 damage value, only 200 on the Crows that came. As for the green one, the Soul of Damnation still managed to pick up just shy of 1,000 damage value, despite some nice assassination attempt in there from Stormrunner. Horsemasters, of course, performed really good. 640 value, 1.1k, 869, 1.1 on this unit of Horsemen, and 154 on the last one. It really was the Skirmish Cav rolling the roost today. And yeah, Chaos Warriors, the highlight, 780 damage value. The rest, nothing really to write home about. But a lot of them were relatively healthy in the later stages of the game. This unit of Chaos Marauders, though, 950 damage value, 960 on the Exalted Hero, and Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Death, 2k damage value, performing quite well. I like his Spirit Leech attempted there on the Squadron of Chariots, but also just staying away from Marathi, always being near his homie, just in case things got a little bit messy in the later stages of the game. GG. So up next, it shall be Ice Power here versus the green one. So let's update the scoreboard until Ice hops in, and we will change that to 2-0. So Ice Power's had a nice little rest now after his, I'm sure, quite stressful games up against Grombrindle. They were very close games. So he's going to have to come in here and scrap it out now with the green one. It is a best of 5, guys, this one. So we still have quite a bit more left to come. A juicy best of 5. I'd always engage Marathi last. Charge bonus is the only thing breaking through her debuffs. Yeah, her debuffs are very, very powerful. I can't wait for the 3v3s in Warhammer 3 when one side would be Chaos Warriors, Dark Elves, and Demons of Slanesh. Oh, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, GG's. Armor loss as it is. Yeah, he probably thought that he was going to be coming up against Marauders, I would assume here. That's what. Well, but also, you kind of need the chaff, to be honest. Like, you can bring one or two heavy hitters for the Dark Elves, but Skirmish Cav will drag them down as well. So Bleak Swords are kind of one of your only options. You almost got me with those Shades. Yeah, man. The Shades were a little bit scary. Yo, yo. So this is a best of 5 with green, picking, and banning first. And the map is Out of Outskirts. There we go. But GG's across the board. Right, let us update the scoreboard. So green one, back down to 0 with you, sir. Well played to him, well played to Storm there. Also Grombrindle earlier on, putting a fantastic showing up against Ice. And let's go with Ice Power here on the right-hand side. Cool. And we will pop that on the right-hand side. Cool. Green 1 versus Ice Power. That's going to be an absolute balmy set of games. Both players look to be in pretty solid form as well. Could Corsairs have been a better option there? I'm not sure, because the Corsairs will still beat the Marauders, just like the Bleak Swords will do fine against them. But I don't think Black Hawk Corsairs will do well against Chaos Warriors. I haven't tested it out, personally. I don't think they'd fare that great. Maybe the Handbows would be okay as a counter-skirmishing tool to the Horsemen. I'd like to see that. So green one is going to pick Greenskins and ban Counts and Beastmen. I mean, with the name green one, you expect him to whip out the Greenskins at some point in a tournament like this. But we're getting them first. Good game, crew. That was some good games for sure. Chaos really strong right now. Chaos very strong right now. Chaos, I think, are a very powerful first pick in a best of 3 or best of 5 situation. Probably want to ban Wood Elves, but apart from that, like, you're okay. Yeah, Handbows just full kite Chaos. Maybe that would be the way to go. If he was still able to assassinate the Soul of Damnations, that is. Yeah, the infantry could do good with like the Black Guard or the Executioners. The problem is the Hell Cannon obliterates them, and the Skirmish Cav also wheels them down. So they can do good if you can stop them getting hit like that, but it's really hard to shot down a Hell Cannon that quickly because of that Unbreakable. Not sure if Ice is going Dark Elves or not here. Oh, he's going Empire, okay. Oh, that's, yeah, I do this as well. I like Empire into Greenskins. Volkmar, couple units of Handgunners, defensive pocket of Spearmen and Halberds. It can work wonders. It can really work wonders. And like a Netcaster to Net Grom. Oh, let's stop the poll quickly. Boop. Now we can end the poll. So let's say you guys think, yeah, it actually favours Dark Elves. Okay. Yeah, Greenskins are known for like having cheap skirmishers. But honestly, like, it's not that great against the Empire, really. So we might not get mass skirmish cav, because, like, what's it going to shoot? Volkmar? He's going to regenerate up. I mean, Mugger's Major Marauders would be decent against Volkmar, I suppose. And it still does stack up damage. But triple handgunners can deal with a load of skirmish cav from the Greenskins. So I don't know if we're actually going to have that big a skirmish game here. Because the Empire can't really counter skirmish back, so they just go defensive and shoot. So I'm much more expecting a green 1 push here. Onto an ice power defensive formation. But you never know. You never know. But not obliterate them if you keep Hell Cannon occupied, or use Stalkers to silence them. Yeah, that's the power, right? Like, if you can kill the Hell Cannon, the Executioners would be great. But if you can't kill the Hell Cannon, you lose. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. They can still do a decent job there, for sure. I agree with you. But the skirmish cavalry around them and the Hell Cannon, it'd be tough. But if you could make it work, it'd be very good. It would be very good indeed. I have the power... He-Man style, Ice Power style for sure. You reckon we're going to see the dreaded War Wagon build again? Possibly. If Ice brings War Wagon mortars, I think I might die of joy. Looks like the lads are ready to rumble. Or Ice Power's ready to rumble. Just waiting on Mr. Green 1. This is the best of 5 though, so plenty of time. Plenty of time to see if Green 1 can whip out some pineapple style tactics. Be nice and spiky and launch himself at the enemy. Feels good to be doing tournaments again though. I think on Thursday I'm probably going to do the one build battle royale tournament again, which is always good fun. Where you get to design one build and you have to stick with that build for the duration of the tournament. I once got to the finals using a full Wood Elf Rush build with a Glade Lord and a Dragon. It was a work of art. It was such good fun. Although I think we went down in the finals. Really close game though, up against someone who was playing Tomb Kings. Someone who was playing Tomb Kings. I can't remember who it was. You predict no wagons? Yeah. Doom Divers can be pretty fun. Ice Ice Baby, indeed, Mr. T. I actually think, Michael, Doom Divers is a hell of a shout here. Because the way that Empire players normally play this, and what I've seen Ice Plow do before, and what I do as well, is a defensive box of spears and guns with Volkmar. So, if you bring Doom Diver catapults, you just shoot the guns. And then all of a sudden that box crumbles. It's so good. Yeah, I actually kind of love that play. But then, of course, if your opponent has great cannons, you're in trouble. But on a map like this, you can probably hide the Doom Diver catapults behind houses and trees and stuff. That'd be really cool if we saw some Doom Divers. I'm not sure the green one's going to do it, but it would be cool. Do you guys ever monitor your Domino's order and critique the route they take? I don't really critique the route they take. But I do like to look at it and be like, bring me pizza, bring me pizza. But I haven't had like a takeaway in so long actually. But I have some pasta today, which is going to be nice. Maybe mortars, but I doubt regular, but what do I know? Regular ones can actually be pretty decent here, because they can shoot down Grom, and you can give them fire damage if they're nearby a warrior priest with the Banner of Eternal Flame. So you can have fire damage war wagons against greenskins, so it kills trolls, it kills Grom, it can actually be pretty solid. But it's a lot of micro, and it's not the most optimal way of playing, and from watching Ice had before, he basically always will play the most optimal way to play a faction in a matchup. We don't have Doom Diver catapults, lads, but we do actually have some Greenskin artillery. We have Double Goblin Rock Lobber, which is pretty damn cool. Okay, this is something unique that I didn't expect to see today. Goblin Rock Lobbers. I prefer Doom Diver catapults personally. I think they're a little bit more accurate, but we'll have to see how these boys do fare. And oh no, green one, you Chad! We have Grimgor Ironhide, the biggest, the baddest, and the bestest of all the orcs. Coming with Gitsnick and you're next. Slowing down Volkmar. Minus 40 melee defense. He's going to have 0 melee defense and like barely any melee attack. That's actually a really good debuff on Volkmar. And he can pin him in place as well. We've got Orc Boar Boys dotted on this left-hand side. We have Savage Orc Arrows as well. A bucket ton of them, including the Rusty Arrows, all the way along. And a load of Orc Big'uns. This is a really cool build. And Orc Boys and Goblins. This is a very cool build. Double Caster with Brainbuster Orca Shaman and Vindictive Glare Night Goblin. Man. Green one coming out straight, just middle finger to everyone. Grimgor build, I adore this build. For the forces of the Empire, it's kind of not what we were expecting. There isn't a load of guns, it's a load of cavalry. So we do have triple Outriders. So unfortunately no War Wagons. Outriders are going to be very good here. They need to be a bit careful. There's a lot of archers to counter-shoot them, and the Rock Lobbers will eventually do damage to them. Front line is a mixture of spearmen on the flanks, swordsmen, and some naked lunatics with Sigma Suns in the middle as usual. And it's 1, 2, 3, triple Knights of the Blazing Sun build. No Stone Trolls for them to attack, but still they can run over the majority of this greenskin build relatively effectively. We also have Spearmen in the back. Of course, it's Volkmar the Grimly in the battle line, but he needs to be careful. If he gets ensnared by Grimgor, he is done for. Look at that. 30 melee attack, 20 melee defense. He's going to be on 0-0, I think, or like 0 melee defense, definitely. Very low melee attack for him if he does get hit by your next. We have Bright Wizard coming in with Cascading Firecloak, Burning Head, and Fireball. And I think that's it for the build. So just a kind of aggressive build here from the Empire. No skirmish cav from the Greenskins. Only 3 from the Empire and their Outriders. Not really super skirmishy. They're more kind of stand and shoot. But they do look pretty cool. They do look pretty cool. Man, this is going to be such a fun game. I'm very excited to see how this plays out. This is fun? Oh, for sure. Orc Boy Party, indeed. Steve has made it to my neighborhood with my order. Say hello to Steve from me. Say he's done a good job. This is going to be fun-matic. I was expecting a lot of Scourge. It's going to be really cool. I'm going to watch this one. Yeah, this one's going to be pretty wild stuff. A little sip of my drink there just to keep me alive. And we get this Kraken. Vindictive Glare could be used on the Bright Wizard. It's overcast now. Doesn't do huge damage to those type of casters, but it does better against armor-piercing foes. Outriders could be problematic, but obviously the Goblin Rock Clubbers will be attempting to counter-shoot where possible. Not the most accurate of artillery pieces, unfortunately, for them, but you can see they have managed to pick apart out the Outriders a little bit. And we are actually going to see a Brainbuster go down on the Outriders, doing 4 kills, adding up that damage. At the end of the day, it's going to help. I love the Grimgore pick. He's actually quite good against Volkmar if he can pin him in, and that's kind of the problem, is he's not able to pin him in. But if he can get in there amongst the Boar Boys and surround Volkmar, this is going to be so hilarious. Gobbos are moving on the left-hand side, just driving away their Outriders, and the Empire are going to have to do their slow advance. Goblin Rock Globber Crews up to a mighty and impressive 0 kills. And where is the second one? 10 kills, 11 kills. Okay, the other one has been a little bit more accurate, whistling down those Outriders from long range. Now, Volkmar's going to be taking a decent amount of missile pressure right now. Wouldn't be bad shooting into the front line either. That 0 armor really is going to be quite a nuisance. We do see a big burning head come in. It looks like Greenmon managed to spot it. It's almost impossible to dodge this Finn, though. And, oh, he's going to get a little bit roasted here. Kind of moves his formation around. Not taking too much damage, though. Nice micromanagement by Green One. Now, in comes Volkmar. He's been hit with your next. So, his speed doesn't seem to be slowed that much, though. He's down to 28 speed. Grimgore can actually catch him. And his stats are 0 melee defense, 6 melee attack. He is a wet noodle in it like a pro. Banishment does go down on the Orc Arrow Boys, but they're able to escape the worst of the damage. And it looks like Volkmar will be able to escape. His charge animation keeps him faster than Grimgore. But, you know, it stopped him causing too much havoc. Banishment did okay, but nothing too crazy. Good use of harass so far by Ice Powder, just to mess the screen skin build up. And look how our position everything is now. He's got Knights lancing down Gobbos, and all these back units are doing absolutely nothing, including the Boar Boys here. Grimgore does get hit a little bit by some of the Outriders, as Knights of Blazing Sun continue to lance down this frontline formation. The Orc Boar Boys need to be a little bit closer here to the main battle line, I think, to help affect Finns and help out the lads. Rock Globbers are adding up and doing some damage. Another burning head does go down on the Rusty Arrows, and that is some insane value. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's definitely going to break them, you'd think. Orc Arrow Boy is just about able to stabilize right now. Volkmar has been getting slapped up. I think that's from Bowfire, though. I don't think Grimgore's really been able to engage him too much. Gitsnick was popped, so maybe... Yeah, 650 damage value. He did slap out Volkmar. Volkmar, like a coward, runs away, of course, from Grimgore. But hey, you know, when you're up against the best, you better start running. The Orc Big Guns are doing absolutely fine in the front line up against the Swordsmen, and they are outnumbered, and now a load of Knights of the Blazing Sun are countercharging them. Where the Orc Boar's been used in reserve, much like we saw Ice Power do in that first set of games. And Grimgore has actually caught... Oh no, it's just some infantry, unfortunately. But he's doing decent damage. The war is currently active, emboldening these goblins with the power of Gork and Mork. They're cunningly brutal and brutally cunning. And in come the Orc Boar Boys, looking for a fat surround on Volkmar, who's saying quite a lot of damage right now. Knights of Blazing Sun are also starting to struggle, and I can see Rocks flinging by, catching the Outriders by surprise. Very close game so far. We do have a nice bit of backline protection with the Orc Boar Boys. Grimgore is very healthy. Greenskins took some punishment in that initial engagement, but they've managed to recover quite nicely. Goblobbers continue to try to force back the Outriders, who have so much ammunition left, which could be really detrimental to the war cause in the later stages of the game for the Greenies. Orc Boar Boys are struggling up against Knights of the Blazing Sun. Vindictive Glare goes in and misses Volkmar, unfortunately for him. Does clip, though, some of the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Greenskins are in a mass retreat on this right-hand side. There's nothing to protect. Look at this. Archer, 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 Archer. Goblobber crew. That is a really big break on the right-hand side, and with that, I think the Empire in a massive state of dominance right now. It looks like the left-hand side is holding for the Greenskins. Of course, Grimgore is having a whale of a time. Brainbuster also blows up a couple of spearmen there. Grimgore up to 19 kills, but I don't think he can protect his back line, and that is a big problem, because so much of his value is tied up in these units. And the Knights of Blazing Sun may be injured right now, but they're enough to run down some pesky greenies. And Grimgore Ironhide is desperately trying to get back. Oh my god, clears one of those horsemen asunder and devours his soul before carving up his next one. Look how big Grimgore is. He's as big as a knight on a horse, in fact slightly bigger. And oh, double kill coming in there. Up to 23 kills. Very impressed with the Grimgor pick so far. All Arrow boys, unfortunately, are being forced back. We have some Boar boys looking to protect the lads. They have managed to return here. I think that break may be a little bit too much, though, for the Greenskins to recover from. But who knows, when Grimgor's fighting, you never count him out. However, the Outriders can shoot him from afar, and they're still looking relatively healthy. There are Goblins, though, applying a bit of pressure to them. Volkmar Grim gets hit by Yawn next, and Grimgor is trying to catch him, but he's so slippery, that little devil. Knight's Blazing Sun also being used to pin in Grimgor, and buy time for Volkmar to escape, though the archers are raining down shot after shot, looking to bring down the fell, moustache-twirling villain of our tale. Gets nicked to his pops, but unfortunately Grimgor couldn't catch him. Vindictive Glare goes in. Volkmar has taken quite a punishment so far, and he is getting closer to his healing cap. He's currently healed 4,000 HP, which is absolutely insane. Banishment's going to be going down on the Rusty Arrows, as well as the Savage Orc Arrow Boys. That do some really nice damage. And with them going down, it's looking so bleak. We've got a little bit of a rally going on the right-hand side by the Greenskin forces. Brainbuster once again that hits the Outriders, but it could come down to Grimgor against the Warden. I'm sure Grimgor thinks he can win that, and honestly, against all that infantry, probably would. But the Outriders, still being alive, was just a tad too much. Just a little bit too much, I'm afraid. What's up, Hugh? Hi, all. Hi, man. You've made in time for the finals. Fun fact, Grimgor is infantry size? Yeah, allegedly so. What's up, Anki? Long time no see. Hope you're all good. Who doesn't root against the skins? I mean, it's Grimgor, though. It's the chaddest pick of chads. He was basically full health at the end of the game there. Still got 1,133 damage value. Green won my heart there, even if he didn't win the game. Not a terrible pick against Volkmar. I kind of like it. Night Goblin, only 128 damage value, 754. The Orc Shaman certainly outperforming his little Gobbo brother there. Gobbos did okay, but nothing too crazy to be honest for all the Greenskin infantry. And for the range, just a load of burning heads, a load of pressure from the Knights. They eventually crumpled. The standout being this unit of Savage Orc Arrow Boys with 636 damage value. Orc Boar Boys are basically a pen unit. You use them like Empire Knight. And the Rock Lobbers, 700 damage value and 600 isn't terrible. Their main job was to protect the back line. They did to start with, then they faltered. For the forces of Ice Power, Volkmar the Grim, only 900 value, rendered pretty ineffective by Grimgor, though 100 kills still. He's so good at getting rid of chaff. 770 damage value from the Bright Wizard with some lovely burning heads throughout the battlefield. Infantry, honestly, nothing that crazy. Not going to go through all of it. Sigma Sun's 500 value was kind of the standout unit, unfortunately. So not too much going on in the infantry department, but the cavalry play was really good. 579 damage value, 800 damage value, and 1.2. Outriders performed okay, but nothing too crazy. They're kind of kept at bay by the rather beautiful Goblin Rock Lobbers. GG's. Grimgor, what Shad. So, our next, we will be on Crack Buftar. That was a really cool build. Really cool builds by both players. The debuff on Volkmar is actually really good. Annoying for Volkmar, but just going to get avoided the whole thing, yeah. Problem is pinning him in, yeah, that's kind of the problem. Is you can kind of just ignore him. Glad you remember me, Duck, of course I do. Yeah, I had to stop playing, my laptop just couldn't handle it anymore. Yeah, this game can be quite demanding, and I'm assuming Warhammer 3 will be even more of a drain. Not too much, like, it won't be too big a jump, because I think it's going to be on the same systems and stuff, obviously, because they're going to bring the armies together and the multiplayer, the campaign map and stuff together. I don't know, I quite like Grimgor's Jordan's next as it is. It does indeed lower speed. So low speed as well as all their stats. Just Volkmar's attack animations made him quite quick. Grom does so much more. Yeah, but Grom's but Grom is smelly. And Grimgor is the best. So, it is 1-0 to Ice Power so far, but it is the best of 5, lads, so plenty of time yet for a cheeky comeback. And I believe Green won playing the best of 7 recently on our channel, where he was 3-0 down and did a reverse sweep in a best of 7. Of course, it's best of 5, so we don't have that luxury of losing those early games quite as much. We'll have to see what he does. The worst! The shock, the shock. I'm not happy about it either. Grimgor can catch, like, a lot of troops. The problem there was Volkmar kept getting his attack animation off, so he kept, like, boosting away a little bit. Plus the fact of Volkmar at the same time, as regeneration is one of the tankiest lords in the game. Yeah, all the Total Wars run the same engine, but they still do increase stuff, and it does become harder to run the games. Like, Total Warhammer 2 is definitely harder to run than Warhammer 1. There's just more stuff going on, better graphics and so forth, but it should, you know, it won't be, like, such a huge leap. Gotta run, thanks for the great vids and entertainment. No worries, Luke, glad you enjoyed. It's been good fun stream so far. Would be great to see a melee Footlord like Grimgor get some speed buffs to help him get into combat. Maybe something... Oh, I need to delete my chat there. Boop, I go down. And something to help them stick in combat too. Yeah, the problem is with greenskins, they don't have a net to, like, pin anything in place to allow Grimgor to dish out the pain. Boar Boys are kind of your best bet there to pin in Volkmar and let Grimgor get in and dish out the damage, but they were kind of, like, fine on different parts of the battlefield. So Ice Power is going to go Dark Elves. Ban Wood Elves and Bretonnia. Two good bans. Two good bans. We'll have to see what Green one does. We've seen him win this with Chaos, but Ice Power now knows his build, which could prove a little bit of a problem. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way. I've seen we've got quite a few people watching. If you guys are, feel free to like, subscribe, and all that good standard stuff. Of course, we're in, like, the downtime, where there's not a huge amount of new Total Warhammer 2 content coming out, so I do really appreciate the support still, and, you know, people sticking around and enjoying our stuff while we build up to the hype of Warhammer 3. Looks like we might get Skaven. Not played this one in a while. Interesting. Yeah, okay. Skaven versus Dark Elves. Interesting. I feel like Ice is going to bring a lot of Scourge on her chariots, because they can run over a lot of the infantry, and they're very good at dealing with rat ogres and other single entities that the Skaven can bring. But there's a lot of range support which can drag them down as well. Gonna be a fun one. Gonna be a fun one. I'm pretty excited for this. I am pretty damn excited. Always root against the skins, unless they're bringing the best. Exactly. If they're bringing the best. Is this on the Cav beta? Yes, yes it is. The majority of, like, Torment stuff are used on the Cav one at the moment. Toodaloos, gentlemen and ladies. Been fun. No worries, Luke. Peace out, man. Peace out, dude. Been keeping you entertained for your workday. Awesome. What's up, Sam Parrot? Love your comments underneath my videos as well. I see you around quite a bit. How do you guys play this one? I'm going to probably do a poll for this one, because I don't really play this matchup that much. Skaven is a faction I wanted to learn recently, because, which faction does this favour? Because I saw Suicide Squad 2, and my favourite character was the Ratcatcher. So I was like, ooh, need to get in on those Skaven games. But I find it hard to play a lot of Total War with the Cav beta up at the moment. Because I love just hopping on quick battles and just grinding out a few for a while. Where you can bring, like, real random stuff and still, like, have a lot of fun. Whereas the end ladder's really good. But it's very, like, competitive, so you kind of have to go try hard, or you just kind of get dumped a little bit. Looks like you guys are really rooting for the Skaven, at least early doors. Yeah, like, the thing is, like, the Footlords, that's kind of their thing. Like, they're cheaper, but they're going to struggle to get into combat more. Like, you're paying for that mobility of a Horse Lord. You're paying the extra money so you don't get trapped by someone like a Grimgor. I guess. There's just so many flying and mobile lords now, I guess. Could be like the only concern there, really. It's even, you think? I'd never add the even slot. I'm just evil, Hank. I'm evil. Some say forget it and I'm forgetful, but deep down it's because I'm evil. I don't want you guys to be able to vote even. Yeah, like, betting against Ice Powers, Dark Elves is something you can't really do that much. He will probably go Marathi Double Manticle. Yeah, I could see that for sure. The Ratcatcher was awesome in the movie. Ratcatcher was my favourite character. She was so cool. She was so cool. That's why I was like, oh, maybe I'll play Skaven. Maybe I'll do a Skaven campaign, actually. Because I've been wanting to do a campaign. I might stream on Twitch. For those who don't know, I also stream on Twitch. Link down below in the description. You should definitely check it out. Basically, if I do multiple videos on YouTube a day, or if I've already streamed on YouTube and I want to do extra stuff, I'll do it over on Twitch. Because that way it doesn't kind of hamper the videos I've already put up that day. So yeah, I'm finishing multiplayer over on Twitch. No, a campaign over on Twitch or something. Maybe Skaven, I'm not sure. Ooh, that could be a problem, Knighthood. Your next plus the slow from the Giant Ritual Hag. Maybe. Nakai has a lot of problems. Yeah, like, Torx does fine. Nakai's problem's not really catching stuff. It's just the fact that he's not tanky enough, and he's far too expensive for what he does. And he doesn't hit hard enough either, to be honest. Like, he's meant to be a big, heavy, tanky, gonna hit you in the face lord, but instead he's kind of a support lord because his buffs are so good, but they're so expensive that they're never really worth it. I think he means maybe up against Dark Elves? Yeah, like, Volkmar's one of the best lords in the game. Comfortably. He's very, very powerful. Very scary, dude. Cool, so I was going through, I received a load of notifications on YouTube, but they're just comments on the latest video. Which is really fun. Honestly, I'm like, I know, I'm not trying to like big up my own stuff, but it was such a fun battle. Torx also destroys Nakai in melee. He does most of the time. He can actually lose it. I did a test when the game first came out of Torx Brass Ball. I did a video somewhere, and he beats Nakai most of the time, but Nakai can actually beat Torx in melee if the RNG gods are on his side. But 9 times out of 10, Nakai loses, yeah, which is a little sad. It's a little sad. Volkmar is best lord in the game. I wouldn't say best lord in the game, because he has some glaring weaknesses, which is his garbage melee defense and melee attack. So, for example, if you're Lizardmen, Volkmar's not a problem whatsoever. Just catch him with a net, drop a Stegodon on him. Stegodon will kill him. It's fine. Give Grimgor a boar mount. I think the boar would have to ride Grimgor into battle. He's so big. Ready when you are. Awesome. Looks like Green 1 is ready to party. He's actually stumped Ice Power a little bit, it seems. Ice normally, like, very quickly locks in, because he knows what to do in every matchup, but I guess he hasn't played this one in quite some time. Volkmar was probably CEO's son's favourite. I don't think he's the best lord in the game. He's very, very good, though. He's one of them. No! We got kicked. Let's try join again. Is this the right lobby? Huh. That was weird. I got kicked for some reason. But I can see in spec slot. So carry on. We'll host new lobby for the next game. So I can pick maps and stuff. Map should be Karak Biftar. It looks like the map's Outlaw Outskirts to me. It looks like the wrong one to me. Let's see if I don't know if they can switch maps. It says Altdorf is the map for me. But maybe bugged. If not, can you switch the map? Green, I think you have to do it as host. Oh god, now I can see his blend build. Alright. Yep. Let's pop that up for now. And place it in the middle. Cool, you guys have to remind me to get rid of that. Okay, done. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I've put a blocker, guys. You gotta give me half a second. I can't do it that quick. The blocker is up. We do have our glorious Lord Croak. Oh, not Lord Croak. Croaky G. Croaky G blocker. I can see the builds now, which is a little exciting. Well, I can see green ones. I can't see ice powers. Oh my god, if he goes with this is going to be freaking awesome. This is going to be so cool. I'm very interested to see how this performs. Very, very interested. You ate too much Dominoes. No! Jesse, there's the rule. You eat half the Dominoes, you then save the next half for brunch the next day. It's like the law of Dominoes. You don't eat a whole Domino's pizza in one go. You eat half, and then you save the other half for cold pizza the next day. It's such a good combo. Alright, loading in. Guys, I see 51 likes right now in the video. We need to get to 69. We need to. Therefore, we will power up Morathi and power up Ice Power to put on a fantastic performance. It is the way. It is the way. You know it to be true. So here we are. Very cool map, actually, Krukbufta. Nice and open. Few little bits of trees, few little bits of rocks, but nothing too crazy. Existence is pain. Existence is pain. We are in the kind of an opening, I suppose, up in the mountains. This reminds me a little bit. If this was all icy, it reminds me of something from the King Arthur movie from when I was a kid, like the live-action one, where they're like amongst the snowy mountains. They had to go across the sheet of ice. Man, this scaling build is so freaking cool. Green 1 is a man of the people. Right, let's get rid of this. Green 1 not only bought Grimgor last game, he's bringing Ittic Claw this game. Ittic Claw in his Doom Rule. Look at him go. Look at how happy he is to be brought to the battlefield for once. He's so psyched. I love Ittic Claw. Very cool lord. Unlimited Plower, Brass Orb, and Flensing Ruin is a spell I've been trying out recently as well. Air effect damage plus negative 30 armor. He's rolling dirty alongside an assassin. We have a load of Skaven slaves, of course, and the clan rats, just cheap, cheerful chaff, brought to the battlefield to die as quickly as possible. We have Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers down here. Regiment Renowned, basically Bergdan Darian's Skaven offspring from a naughty trip he had away once to Winterfell. We have double Poison Globadiers, taking at the high ground right now, as well as a Warp Lightning Cannon. We have one unit of Rattling Gunners, a couple of units of Wolf Rats with Poison, double Rat Ogres, as well as some Gutter Runner with Poison Slingers. Actually, are these the Slingers or are these just the basic ones? Nope, just the basic ones, which are pretty much better. Pretty much better. Save the court, it's too good. No, pizza cold is amazing. Like, cold pizza is almost equal to hot pizza. It depends on the mood. It depends on the mood, I would say. But anyway, really awesome build. I love it in every single way. For the forces of the Dark Elves, no Morathi in the sky. My heart is... I'm so confused and broken. Is it Lokir? It's Loki Felhar! It is true! Ice has abandoned Marathi and once again picked his sugar daddy. Loki Felhart on the ground here. We also have a Knight Assassin looking to come in and support. For the main battle line, we have a load of Bleak Swords, mixing with Blackheart Corsairs and Dread Spears dotted all the way around. So again, cheap and cheerful. We do have a Sorceress of Death coming in with... Oh my god, what is this madness? We have Blade Wind and Chill Wind. That's some pretty cool stuff. Triple Bolt Thrower. Triple Reaper Bolt Thrower here. A load of Skirmish Cav in the back in the form of Dark Riders. And then double Squadron of Chariots on the flanks, which... it's a pretty good build. It's a pretty good build. The Skaven have to get really aggressive and basically throw away the Warp Lightning Cannon because it's basically dead. It's basically dead. There's no way he can save this. It's a Claw as well. It's going to be a very big target for a lot of these troops. But he doesn't have to engage Loki. That's the good thing again. Once again, Foot character could struggle up against Chad Doomwell. It's a Claw character. So we'll have to see how this does unfold. It's going to be a good fun game. Rats, we're the rats, indeed. Cold pizza terrifies me. You don't heat the cold pizza, but you have... So, on the night, you want a hot pizza. You're like, oh, this hits the spot. But you wake up, it's if you're hungover or something, you know. You've come back from a night out, you've got a pizza, you've eaten the hot pizza, you leave the half in the Domino's box, you wake up the next morning, you need some food in you to, make yourself feel a little bit better. Cold Domino's pizza. Texas barbecue, thin crust, it's the jam. The Zap Cannon will be good for holding bolts. I mean, the Zap Cannon, yeah, is going to be holding a lot of bolts, unfortunately, inside it. Its range is 430. It does outrange the bolt throwers. But I just feel like 3 bolt throwers is going to quite comfortably destroy this Warp Lightning Cannon, if I'm being perfectly honest. Now, Itic Claw doesn't want to get too engaged with a Canine Assassin, at least not for too long. Bolt Throwers actually focus down the Poison Wing Globadiers, not a bad target. And the other two are going after the Rattling Gunners at the moment. So Warp Lightning Cannon might get its wish here of shooting into these targets. Instantly goes after the Sorceress and misses. We do get a cheeky little wind kind of bloop down the side, icy wind there. Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers do take a bit of damage, but not too much, luckily for them. We do get a Fat Flames and Rune going down. It is Overcast, so it lowers the armor of all these troops and does some okay damage. Loki managed to dodge the worst of it, but it doesn't do that much damage. The Assassin is going to be moving in to try to follow up on this, but it looks like the Flames and Rune was maybe cast a little bit too early. That's still going down, actually. But realizing Loki fell hearts here as well, the Assassin has to fall back. I like the attempted gambit there, but it didn't unfortunately pay off at this time. Itic Claw is moving forward onto the Blackheart Corsairs, looking to ramrod over them and do some decent damage, up to 3 kills already. And he can well and truly hunt down that Sorceress as well if he so deems necessary. Squadron of Chariots causing quite a lot of havoc on the flanks with these Dark Riders, overwhelming a lot of the Gutter Runners, though the Poison Globadiers start to unleash hell in the front lines. The Wolf Rats combined with the Rat Ogres trying to pin back here a lot of them fast mobile elements of the Dark Elf build. Sorceress gets... bam! Slapped by the Warp Lightning Cannon, trying to take her down. Skaven Assassin is fleeing for its life away from the Canine Assassin. I do not blame him. Ratogers do a really good job here, just shattering those Bleak Swords. This is the hour. Move this way, get nice and aggressive, move up and around, and shut down those Bolt Throws. Although there's only 1 unit of Dark Riders in the back protecting, you can certainly overcome them, although I guess there's more Dark Riders who may be able to come back and support. Squadron Chariots are going to start running over Poison Wing Globadiers, and things are looking pretty bleak already for the Skaven. Warp Lightning Cannons have shattered the Sorcerers of Death, which is good news. We do unfortunately get a Web of Shadows go down and a Rival Hide Talisman. This Assassin needs to leg it as quickly as possible, I think, because though Rival Hide Talisman has gone down, it's just 2 single entities versus 1. It's just too much damage right now. And Loki Felhart does pop the Dreaded Duelist to counteract some of that debuff. Itic Claw's trying his heart out, but it's not working for him today. Rat Ogre is falling back on the left-hand side away from the Dread Spears and Bleak Sword combo. Not a bad idea whatsoever. On the right-hand side, it looks like Poison Globadiers are being finished off. The Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers scream a Beric Dondarrion war cry into the deep once more. They're trying their hardest, but the shield wall is currently holding firm. Rattling Gunners go dagger, 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 and start shooting into the Canine Assassin, doing some pretty okay damage. He's falling back, he's been slowed as well. Rat Ogres are trying to counterpunch. Itic Claw is getting danger low, unfortunately, and does have to fall back once more. His Assassin friend is alive, but currently turning tails and running. Scourge Runners and Bolt Throwers are laying waste right now to the Rattling Gunners. Big shots do manage to connect with the Canine Assassin, though, doing some pretty good damage. We do have Wolf Rats here, slow down Loki Felhart. They will be able to poison him, so they can probably dip in there and run away again. It looks like some Dread Spears are about to receive a nice cheeky little present in the rear from Itic Claw that actually turned to engage him in the front. but the Skaven Slaves combined with Itic Claw should be able to finish them off, particularly if these Rat Ogres now turn to engage and break down that unit. Now, bounce power is slightly in favour of the Dark Elves. Bolt throws won't be super useful once they've used up all that ammunition, but there's a load of cavalry left, and it's clearing up a lot of these troops right now. I'm very impressed that the Warp Lightning Cannon has been alive as long as it has. Tried to kill that Canine Assassin, doing some pretty big work, actually. Warp Lightning Cannon so far is indeed up to 1.2k damage value. Beautiful play there. Rat Ogres are starting to circle pound Loki Felheart. Other Rat Ogres going after that Canine Assassin, doing some pretty good stuff, though. It looks like we are going to be getting a fat Web of Shadows or something. What is this? Oh no, it's Flint and Ruin. Flint and Ruin goes down on Loki Felheart, lowering his armor to 80. The Assassin does in fact break there, but 140 armor, HP, sorry, does still survive, and the Rat Ogres are dealt with. Itic Claw wasn't able once again to follow up on the debuff, dropping from Flint and Ruin onto Loki Felheart. Very cool spell, very cool animation as well. In comes Itic Claw. He needs some big hits right now, and he actually shoves Loki Felheart away from the danger of these Rat Ogres, and it's going to be a bit of a scrap though. Loki looking a little bit worse for wear. Bolts are flying up overhead, aiming at Itic Claw, but they do miss. In the background, Dark Riders are cleaning up the Poison Wing Globadiers, and there's not any troops left really to protect the Warp Lightning Cannon. Loki Felheart does go down here though. Itic does manage to ramrod him. Is this doing damage to him, or is this just kind of shoving him around? I think it's just shoving him around. He does need to finish him off where possible. A little bit of lag kicking in. Rattling Gunners have rallied back and are shooting. There's not that much alive for the Skaven, but if they can kill Loki Felheart, Itic Claw can kill the majority of this. I mean, he has to take down the Bolt Throws, of course. The Reaper Bolt Throws. Oh, Scourge on Chariots, no problem. Scourge on Chariots may still mean this is too much for Itic Claw's mastery. And Loki Felheart rallies. Yeah, I was thinking if he managed to take down the Bolt Throwers, maybe there's a chance, but not with the Scourge Runners as well. He can't dodge that many shots. He is but a rat at the end of the day. Unfortunately, Warp Lightning Cannon is going to be going down here. It's done a really good job, though, so far. Itic Claw is trying to escape the bolts. Loki Felheart is very low HP. He only regens well in combat, so, you know, having him run around like this isn't too bad for the Skaven forces. Itic Claw is going to slam home. It looks like the Clan's Vulcan Tail Slashers do go down. Army losses is certainly nearing close. Itic Claw continues to flee and run. We have Rat Ogres coming back. We have some Clan Rats who can return to the battlefield as well on the left-hand side. More troops rallying, although a lot of them are being finished off now by good Scourge Runner Chariot play. What a fantastic game this has been. This has been such a close scrap. Itic Claw does a little drive-by there on Loki Felheart, baiting out the Dread Duelist, but he decides, you know what? I don't really want to fight today. I've had enough. I had my fun. I want to fall back. And I love the Flint and Ruin combo there with Itic Claw. That was awesome. That was awesome. Fantastic game there by the Green One and Ice Power. But Ice Power can be taking a dominant 2-0 position here in this best-of-5 finals. How the Green One loves this position. He may look on the back ropes. He loves a cheeky reverse sweep. We've seen him do it before, and he can do it again. Well played. We've seen Grimgor, and now we've seen Itic Claw. 2,112 damage value. Itic Claw is one of those characters that, if you know how to use him correctly, can actually make you really quite proud and do a ton of damage value. Beautiful Itic Claw play here. 90 kills, over 10k damage dealt. Very good work. Assassin, though, only 6 damage value and 1 kill. Not the best day for him. Skaven Slaves, of course, born to die. It is what they do, and they did that pretty damn well. Poison Wing Globadiers neither paid for themselves. That is certainly a rare sight indeed, getting shot down rather effectively there. The Chariots plus the trio of Bolt Throws was just a little bit too much. Guts Runners, 544 and 441 damage value. Rattling Gunners, only 87. Wolf Rats did okay. And the Rat Ogres, a bit of a mixed bag. 900 value, 300 value. 1.4 on the Warp Lightning Cannon. It did some really solid work throughout the course of the battle. As for Mr. Ice Power, once again, saying no. No, Siree Marathi. I saw you playing with someone else earlier on, and I'm indeed going to bring Loki now. 24 kills, 670 damage value. Sorceress of Dark Magic, 200 value, 1,125 from the Canine Assassin is very impressive stuff. Black Hawk Corsairs, 117 kills, 627 damage value. Bleak Swords, of course, were just spending their days killing slaves. Good play here with the Dark Riders for the most part. 710 and 700 damage value. The others not faring so well, 500 and 193. Scourge on Chariots, an absolute staple in any Ice Power build. Very powerful units, 1.2k damage value and 125 kills from this top one. 558 from the second unit. The Bolt Throws didn't do massive damage value, 640, 338 and 650 isn't bad, but considering they used up most of that ammunition, isn't a world beater either. Up next, we have Alpine Ridge. Oh. I didn't even get to use Blade Wind, it's true. It's true. GG, well played. Love Itic Claw pick. And fell heart once again. Rafi shall be jealous. Yes, yes. Next map is Prague. We can stay in this lobby. It's no problem. And then let's let's get a scoreboard, not scoreboard going, let's get this going, so we can't see Green One's build. I can move out of the way so you guys can still see chat. There we go. And let's update the scoreboard now. So it is 2-0 to Ice Power. This, again, as I said before, Green One loves a reverse sweep, so it's certainly possible for him to come back to this. So instead I play some Luca now and again, to prove I'm not trash. Hey! Nah, like, Luca is a very good lord, honestly. He is very powerful. He's not Marathi level, but it depends on the matchup. Wicked D, thank you so much, man. You are truly the ever mod here. Have a good one, gents. I'm out. No worries, Jesse. Hope you recover from the dominoes. Shooting his own ogres was nice. Icket just loves to vibe and be a big pain in the butt. Let's go Green One, says Mark Luck. Yeah, guys, I need you guys to channel your power into Green One. We want to see a comeback. We want to see as many games as possible. I want this to go to Game 5. Everyone always streaming whilst Torok's at work. I'm so sorry, Torox. I hope you've been enjoying. We've seen Torox twice today. But obviously it wasn't the real Torox, because I think both times he may have lost. So it obviously wasn't the real Torox. You've been busy at work. You've had imposters running around. I don't know if we've topped that first game, though. That first game was so insane. Ollie Boney Boys, awesome. So don't start until I am back. Awesome. So it's going to be Lizardmen versus Tomb Kings. Going to be an interesting one. I'm going to be right back, guys. I'm just going to go grab another glass of water. Just going to go grab another glass of water. So I'll be back in like 2 minutes. I will leave Wicked D and Talks of Basketball both in charge. They are your papa and mama now, and you must listen to them. What's up, Rusty? I'm going to be back in 2 minutes, man. We're just taking a 2-minute break so I can grab another glass of water and hop into some glorious action here. Awesome. Let's go. I will see you when I see you. I'm down for some Harlem Quest later, by the way. The duck is back, people will have no fear. Well. Quack, quack. Ooh. I have return day. Let's see what chat's been up to. Now everyone play Beastmen while Duck is gone. Thank you for advertising our cause sincerely. What is this? Thank you for advertising our cause sincerely. The Water Shrinkers of America? Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? I'm saying it's fine. Just don't do it in Italy, because it's disrespectful. But anywhere else, yeah, you can eat pineapple on pizza if you like it. It's not great. It's not a pizza I would choose. But it's fine. It's fine. I get what they're going for with the sweet and salty combo. I am back. This is a wild Lizardman build. This is wild. I love it. Let me very quickly check. Thank you so much, Arid. Thank you for the $5 donation, man. It means a lot. It honestly means a lot, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. Hope you've been enjoying the stream so far. I'm sure the guys will try their best to put on a good show for you. Man, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Fun fact, Torx has to use caps because his hooves are so big they crush lowercase letters. It is true. It is true. Should be illegal, says Joseph. Yeah, I feel like it should be illegal in Italy, baby. But everywhere else, like, you can eat pineapple on pizza. I'm going to judge you slightly for it, but I'm not going to, like, disown you as a person if you eat pineapple on pizza. But, like, you can, like, this is going to shock a lot of you guys, because you've been lied to your entire lives. There's, like, no rules to, like, you know, unless it's, like, an illegal substance. There's, like, no rules to what you can actually cook. Like, if you want to put pineapple on anything, you can do that. It's not, like, against the law. If you want to put, you want to get a lovely bit of chocolate cake fresh out the oven, and then you just want to sprinkle, I don't know, some gravy granules on it, you can do that. There's no one there that's going to stop you. You might be judged heavily by society, but society can't do nothing to you. It's like the fact you can just simply walk out into the middle of the street. You can just start screaming. You can just start yelling Grimgor in the middle of the street. They can't stop you. Until it becomes, like, public harassment. But, you know, that'll take a while to get to that level. Morn! Following up there as well with the $5 donation. Thank you so much, dude. Man, thank you guys. That's really generous of you guys. Thank you. Hope you guys have been enjoying the stream. And we'll have to have one of these guys representing Morn and one of the representing Arid here. As the green one and Spice Power clash to blows once again. Thank you, dude. Honestly, that's really lovely of you. Depends. Wicked cheese or bacon or even spinach. Yeah, you can have spinach on pizza. Cheese, bacon, spinach. I really quite like a fresca, which is like a rocket and cherry tomato. Like these snow, like, are they called cherry tomatoes? Like sunburst cherry tomatoes or something? These really tiny tomatoes on top with like a load of rocket and cheese and stuff. It's really nice. It's really nice. Wicked D. Oh, you not entertained? Oh, you not entertained? Torx does indeed still have hands. Cool. Looks like we're loading in, guys. I did get to play Torx Brassball in a quick battle last week, so Torx won, of course, always. Apparently mango with a little bit of salt is amazing, but I'm yet to try it. I don't know if I'm bold enough. Is it Fresca? Or is that wrong? I don't know. That's what I call it, and the Italian people who serve me the pizza don't seem to judge me too much. Torx cut good. Torx always cut good. Oh, here we go, lads. Could be the last game of the stream. Could be the last game. We're 7 likes off hitting the magical 69 likes. So if you're not there, guys, you know what you need to do. For Marathi, for Sanesh, and for all those juicy bots who haven't appeared for quite some time, actually, in our chats. Looks like they've been shut down a little bit. Haven't been seeing them on too many other people's chats as well, which is good. Which is all good. When we load in, I will remove the screen blocker. Have no fear. I just want to cut out the game whilst we're loading in. And yeah, this Lizardman build is absolutely insane. I love it in every single way. It is beautiful. So let's get rid of that and pop back in. And it is an Air Force. And those of you who were disrespecting Tic-Tac-Toe, he is back, baby. And he is back with a vengeance, I think. I saw Tic-Tac-Toe. Yes, I did. We have Tic-Tac-Toe. His entire name is a joke. His life is a joke. But he's here to try and fight. He has Deadly Onslaught and Master of the Skies. And Drop Sphere of Teapot. We do also have, helping lead the battle line, a Skink Priest of Beast with Manticore Summon and Wyson's Wild Form, and a load of Skink Cohorts, and then a load of Feral Cold Ones with some Cold One Riders in the mist. So, very cheap on the low ground here, but in the skies we have double Quattle here. These are Storming Birds of Thunder and Madness, and I feel like they're probably descendants from Ducks. Coming in here with their bound abilities can be quite powerful. We also have double Arc of Sotek. Although, maybe just a single Arc of Sotek. For some reason I thought I saw two. It looks like we have a lone Arc of Sotek here. We also have some Terran Riders with Fire Leech Bowlers up in the skies. A very underrated unit, the Fire Leech Bowler. And we also have Ripidactyl Riders in the mist. No Colossal Hunters, unfortunately. For the forces of the Tomb Kings, it is going to be a not super traditional build here. Very surprised we don't see a load of Bow Shopti. We do have the Triple Skeleton Chariot, of course, which is a Ice Power classic as well. Nobo Shopti with a load of Skeleton Warriors, and he's definitely going to lose the air game pretty hard, and that does mean those Fire Leech Bowlers will demolish almost all this infantry, and he's got the cav to pin in the chariots. There are Carrion up in the sky who can harass and be annoying. The main punch in this entire build is going to come in the form of the Eyes of the Desert, who will decimate those flies if they get within range. We have High Queen Khalida on her Slivery Snake. We also have the Sphinx of Yusketh, or something along those lines. Regiment Renowned Necro Sphinx, who is... I have no idea what's going to kill him. I really do not. He is an amazing anti-large damage dealer. And we have a Death Caster with Spirit Leech and Fate Abuna. This is going to be wild. I have no idea how they're going to kill the Sphinx. Apart from that, I really do quite like this build. Quite a bit indeed. So the Quattles are advancing. Look at these cold ones. They're just like bobbling on underneath. They're getting so eager. Quattle does just dive down. And this isn't a bad play. Hit the flanks with one Quattle each. Your opponent can't get these sneaky snakes in both directions. Neither can the giant Sphinx itself. So Skinks are going to fall back and rotate around. I like this play quite a bit. Tic-Tac-Toe is floating in the wings at the moment. Quattle takes quite a lot of damage here from the Eyes of the Desert. Eyes of the Desert could be pretty painful. We do see the first Chain Lightning come down, or lesser Chain Lightning, and it does basically no damage. It kind of clips some Skeleton Warriors. Quattle's going to have to do it the old-fashioned way, I'm afraid, and break its way down as many enemy units as possible. The other Quattle's doing a fantastic job as well, when supported by the Fire Leech Bowlers. Cheeky Spirit Leech goes down on the Cold One Riders themselves. It looks like the Terrans are being forced wide here by the Carrion, but as soon as those Ripidactyl Riders catch up, they will rip and tear into the Carrion with a gusto there, and they should be able to drag them down quite quickly and comfortably. In the main fight, of course, all the Skinks are dying. That's kind of what Skinks do. The Basilion with Arc of Sotek, up to 7 kills so far, is doing a bit of a number on the Skeleton Warriors. However, the Eyes of the Desert are really scary right now. Tic-Tac-Toe is up in the sky. He's under attack, apparently. We might see a Chain Lightning come down on top of the Skeleton Warriors, or a Thunderbolt, I should say. Urion's Thunderbolt. And bam, there it goes, striking down like the Hammer of Ford, and some lovely damage to those units. Tic-Tac-Toe is going to commit to the fight, and Tic-Tac-Toe is known as the Damp Lettuce Lord. He's going after the big beastie there, the Sphinx, and he needs to run away now. You've gotten your hits, your opponent's turned around. Flee for your life, Tic-Tac-Toe, because if these chariots pin him in place, he's in big problem. You can see the Arc of Sotek not having a fun day whatsoever. The Quattle is also getting ripped into right now by the Eyes of the Desert, who themselves, though, are being harassed by his brother. I like the use of the Manticore Summon. It's trying to pin in the High Queen. I think Tic-Tac-Toe is actually standing and fighting this. A well-placed Chain Lightning, just a second too shy. Nope, it manages to kill a couple of models, but nothing too crazy. Feral Cold Ones are starting to whip around the flanks where possible, and it looks like we do have a resurgence in the air game. Ripidactyl Riders and Pterodons coming back to the main fight, and those Pterodons really will be able to kill like the majority of this chat. Colossons seem to be wanting to go after the Eyes of the Desert. This is the scary blob right now. The High Queen, the Sphinx, as well as the Eyes. What is there to kill them? And not too much. Quattle is trying its heart out here. The second one is on approach as well. Feral Cold Ones coming into the mist, trying their hardest. They're going after the Eyes, which is probably the squishiest target here. Tic-Tac-Toe going after the High Queen as well, pecking at her skull, trying to rip her head from her shoulders and use it as a drinking cup. But the Sphinx is on the approach back, and he hits so disgustingly hard. Ripidactyl's doing a decent job. We may get the Shopty summon down here, which would be pretty scary. Pterodons are now being used to cut up the chaff. They will do that very well. They're up to 8 kills right now, and they're starting to run a little low on ammunition, so maybe I overestimated them a little bit here. Common Riders are whipping around the flanks. We do see a second Manticore, something being birthed into the world as the first one goes down, which is some good timing right now, as the High Queen is basically dead. She is not having a good day. This is not the vacation she asked for. Tic-Tac-Toe, proven once and for all, he's the greatest lord of all time, coming in here and trying to assassinate her as quickly as possible. We are going to see a Ushopti summon come down in the mist here. The High Queen might be able to escape this. I'll be very surprised if she does. Everything else is now going after the Sphinx. She is starting to crumble down to 69 HP, and it looks like she is indeed going to be going. Everything has been chucked in at that goddamn Sphinx. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. I can hear King Fearden screaming in the distance. Tic-Tac-Toe, though, is stuck. He is stuck right now, and he is not having a good time. He's surrounded by chariots. He can't get out of there. The Sphinx is just bam, bam, bamming him from behind. Manticore is trying its hardest to get in there and assist. Very close game so far, though. Pterodons are going to continue to bomb down on the enemy. The Quattles are both still alive, and they could be used here to assassinate that Leech Priest, or Lich Priest, whatever you want to call him, or the Skeleton Chariot. So currently going after that poor little Skink Priest in the distance. Arcosotic has rallied, and he's pinned in the Skeleton Chariots with the help of some Feral Cold Ones. Really good play here by Green One down on the flanks, but the main fight does seem to have indeed been lost. Manticore summon will be disappearing soon, but likewise shall the Ushopti summon. Tic-Tac-Toe still alive. We still have one of the Quattles, or both the Quattles going, and that's 3 Siglencies versus the Sphinx, but the Sphinx will be able to one-shot a lot of these guys because they're very low HP-wise. Unfortunately, the Wizard Duel is going to get interrupted right now. One last Spirit Leech gets thrown in there onto this Quattle, who's rather low HP. Lovely little passing shot from the Priest, though he's probably not going to survive this one. I wouldn't have thought so. Arcosotic's again isolated on this side. You can see the little snakes are slithering their way around here, and he's up to 820 damage value, not bad, but unfortunately, bam, down goes the dinosaur, and he is going to be falling here. Skeleton Chariot's still just about surviving. Now, we have some Skinks coming back. We don't have that many, in fact, any Fire Leech Boders left to kill all this infantry, but if you can kill the Priest and kill the Sphinx, the majority of it will most likely crumble. Tic-Tac-Toe almost dived in there for the assassination attempt, but the Sphinx is too strong and still yet lives. Chariots are going to be the focus of attention. Another Spirit Leech does go down, this time onto the Ripidactyl Riders, realizing they're one of the best units right now for pinning in those chariots. And it looks like the Priest, though, is that going to be his last spell of the day? Big slamming strike comes in. He's trying to flee him, but he is crumbling very, very hard. Quattle needs to be careful. It cannot be isolated and alone up against the Sphinx. Fly, my majestic ducky, fly! And there he goes up into the skies. Quattle actually breaks up against some Skeleton Chariots, which is a little bit embarrassing for ducks, to be honest. But, you know, he only has 151 HP, so you can't hate him too much. And now if I'm Ice Power, I'm just sitting the Sphinx in the middle of all my Skeleton Warriors and be like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? We've got Wison's Wild Form that can go down Tic-Tac-Toe and buff him up maybe, and maybe buff up a Quattle, but the Sphinx has nearly 4,000 HP. That is not easy. Ice is getting even like a little over eager here and just charging headlong in, knowing I think that he's relatively safe. And I think this could be a 3-0 in the finals. I just don't see a way for the Sphinx to go down. Skeleton Chariots are suffering right now. Quattle kind of gets over eager once again and charges headlong into the enemy, and he's been dragged wide right now out of the support range of Tic-Tac-Toe. Master Skies is active, Deadly Onslaught is active as well, and he's going to counter-charge the Sphinx. We fight evil head-on, and he's flapping around in his face, trying his best to distract the Sphinx from the Quattle, but the Quattle does take a big old slap to the back there. Skink Priest has started to engage in combat as well. Now, Skeleton Warriors are starting to crumble all around him. The second Quattle does come back. Looks like they're trying to assassinate the Skeleton Chariots. Tic-Tac-Toe is isolated and alone. Wison's Wild Form goes down, though, buffing his stats to those of an average lord. And he's trying to take on the mighty Necro Sphinx, and it's not going well. One duck does fall, tongue out. Very, very sad stuff. The other duck is barely clinging on to life as the Skink Priest does run away. Tic-Tac-Toe is absolutely going ham right now. This is for vengeance. This is for everyone who's ever insulted me. He's up to nearly 2,000 damage value. Let's go, Tic-Tac-Toe. RNG gods, we pray to you. Bring down the Sphinx, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Armor losses kicks in. I was wondering what would break first, Tic-Tac-Toe or his army, and of course, it was his army. Well played, lads. Well played. That was a beautiful game. That was a hilarious stuff. Green One brought all the cool lords today. In this final, he brought Grimgor, Ikit Claw, and Tic-Tac-Toe. But Ice Power Man coming in as well with the High Queen Necro Sphinx combo. Actually a very powerful tool up against dinos. 2,100 damage value on it. Nearly meeting that level though was Tic-Tac-Toe. Just shy of 2k damage value, 30 kills. Very impressive stuff. He's a very cheap lord as well, although he came in with a lot of his buffs today. 181 damage value on the Skink Priest, although he did get both his Manticore summons off and some decent buffs and, just buffs going down. Skink Hordes didn't do too much, which was to be expected. Likewise, the Cavalry really struggled. In fact, the Feral Cold Ones performing better than both the Cold One Riders. Ripidactyls got 1,000 damage value. Nice work on them. The Fire Leech Bowlers did struggle. The good carrying pressure kind of overwhelmed them. Ark of Sotek, 945 damage value. And on the Quattles, 1,000 damage value and 1,300. Really nice work by both of them there. Really nice work by both of them. As for Mr. Ice Power, High Queen Cleader, 720 damage value. Unfortunately, getting sniped out. The Priest actually kind of outshone her quite a bit there. Just shy of 900 damage value. Really well placed Spirit Leeches. Ice Power's very good at seeing his opponent build and realizing what he needs to do to win and picking apart at those weak spots. What she did there with the Spirit Leech. Most of the infantry died and didn't get much damage value, but it ground down the enemy, pinned them in place, and allowed the heavy hitters to bring the pain. Ice Desert, 1.5k damage value, 900 on this chariot, 214 kills, 1,000 damage value on this second chariot, 620 on the third. Karen getting the mid-hundreds there, so, 600 damage value, 500, and only 89 on this last unit. The Sphinx was a real powerhouse, 2,100 damage value, and I don't think anything could have dragged it down there at the death. GG well played. An amazing set of games. Really fun stuff. So, well played to Ice Power. He's going to win our first ever Ducks Chosen, which is just kind of a 4-man flash tournament where I just invite people to play. I'm not going to do this format every single day, obviously. Oh no, the duck... Did I keep... I'm better taking down the screen blocker, I'm going to cry. I did. Oh my god, thank god. You guys had me scared there for a second. But we will do this now and again, when we just want to chuck up a tournament and have some fun. Yeah, buffing stats to that of an average lord. GG. GG. That was pretty cool. What are the purple flying snakes? Quattles. Their Quattles are actually pretty good. Yeah, the Sphinx will kill the Quattles quite quickly, but the Quattles are actually really good for sure. Javier, I'm afraid you did end here. A Sildor, click on the button, yes. But you can go back and watch the whole thing, man. It will be uploaded. We're on 66 likes, guys. I really want that 69 just for the memes, but... Now, thank you, Duck, for streaming. Hope next time I can give more fight. No, Green One, man, you played good. You played good, man, honestly. Pleasure as always. It was awesome, lads. Well done to both of you. I mean, like, the crazy thing is, Ice Power... Like, might not have even been the one to face Green One, Like, Grombrindle made it so close as well. We had so many close games today. I still think that first game was my favourite. If Ice or Grombrindle saved it, I would love to cast that game. It was madness. It was madness. Thanks for playing. So before you guys go, we got a few stuff to do. Hey, 69 likes! Oh, you guys are so Chad. So Chad. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Before you guys go, we're going to go raid another streamer. And what we're going to do is we're going to yell quack at them a load to confuse them. But if you did enjoy the stream today, before we get to that, make sure to like, subscribe. There's a load of links down below. There's a link to my Twitch where there's additional Total War content and other games as well. It's all completely free, so feel free to go check that out. Links to my Discord, my Patreon, load of good stuff down below, so you can enjoy all of that. This was a really fun tournament. I really enjoyed. I haven't done tournaments in quite a while, and I'm really happy that we've started to come back and doing tournaments again, because I'm probably going to do quite a lot of them going into the future. So let's go find someone to raid. I think I was going to raid Anticity because I felt really bad. I was streaming at the same... I invited him to the tournament to play today, and I literally did it on the time he was hosting a tournament, so I felt like a bit of an ob there. It wasn't deliberate, of course.
As Luis Suarez gets a
Oh, let's stop that. I think he might be streaming on Twitch. Is he streaming on Twitch right now? He's offline. I don't know where Anticity's streaming. I thought he was streaming. Let's check YouTube quickly. Anticity. It doesn't say he's streaming. So apologies about that, guys. Oh, he finished streaming 59 minutes ago. Okay. Well, let's go raid someone else then. Let's type in Total War Warhammer. And go raid. Go spread the love, yell lots of quacks. And let's go to live. Not to brag, guys, we are currently the biggest stream on YouTube for Warhammer, which is pretty freaking cool. Okay, there's a couple of Russian people streaming. Someone who's not doing Total War Warhammer. Oh, it's Dame Offense's birthday, and she's streaming Total War. So let's go say happy birthday to her. And spread the love. So, guys, I'm going to link you now. Boop. Boop. This is a link to Dame Offensive. Let's go over there and give her a good old happy birthday. Yell a quack at her and happy birthday. Let's update the scoreboard quickly as well before we go. Just for the sake of continuity. If I can find it. And that was a 3-0 there to Ice Power. Well played to both these guys. Well played to Storm and Grombrindle as well. They made a really fun set of games in those early stages. And they shall not be forgotten. So I'll see you guys over there. We'll go raid her. She is the birthday girl today. So we'll go over and say quack quack. It was a fun set, Ducky. Thank you for tourney. No worries, man. That was really good fun. Those were some really fun games. How mad is Mama now that you have a sugar daddy? Yeah, that is true though. Anyway, guys, I'll go over there and see you for the raid. Until next time, and double shout out by the way to Arid and Morn. Thank you guys so much for those donations. It's really appreciated. Until next time, guys, peace, and as always, stay awesome.